The time of the Inquisition is now at hand. Putting pop culture to the rack, the Inquisition calls to account the events of the week, rooting out heresy wherever it is found. I am Grand Inquisitor Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth, and joining me for tonight's torture is Nerdrotic Channel's Grand Inquisitor, Gary Beekler. Gary, are we all happy bunny foo-foo tonight?
Fuck no. I am pissed off. And God, I just pulled a rookie move there and I can hear myself. So yeah, I'm pissed off. A video I worked on for a couple of days, I think made it 5 minutes before it was taken down by the BBC in the most unusual way. I have never had a video blocked, completely blocked and taken down, and I've had copyright claims, but not like this, and we'll get into it in a little bit. But other than that, I'm fine, I guess. We'll get into the other stuff going on.
Right.
Strange times, my friend. Strange times we are living.
Exceedingly strange times, no doubt about it.
Dang. How's your week been?
It's been pretty good. You know, had a wildly successful video.
Awesome.
And gained like 6,000 subs.
Awesome.
Not bad.
Not bad. Sweet. We've got, who do we have here? And congratulations on that. It's always good to hit one out of the park once in a while.
Absolutely.
Code Monkey is here, and Nethead and Rod Thunderheart, Phil Arconis and Nitrium and Bill Confidential, John Smallberries, Matthew Anderson, the Anime Slayer, Mark Roberts, Psycho Dwarf, Jason Wiz 1, Milo Hoffman, Monster Huntress Rune, William Ramskill, FFU83. That's probably supposed to spell something, but I can't get it right now. Chris Rawlingson, Rented Identity, Tom from Midnight's Edge. What's up, buddy? Alex True, Joseph Ippolito, and Titan and Luminous Brilliance. Welcome to the Inquisition. And it's not like there's a shortage of things to talk about, because we're certainly going to discuss some Doctor Who stuff, some Star Wars stuff. But, I mean, cancel culture is pretty much on everybody's mind. It's happening so much to so many people. I'm sure it's started on somebody since we started this effing live stream. And you know, and now we're seeing people get, you know, like this Dr. Disrespect thing. And listen, I only slightly know who he is through my kids. I know he's a Twitch streamer. I know he was removed and he's one of the bigger Twitch streamers. And does anybody know why yet? Now, I have been busy for the last three hours or so, but it's still a mystery. And it might be just that vague terms of service. But this is a guy, Doomcock, who had like a contract with Twitch. Not just a partner. He had a contract and he just signed it for, I'm guessing, millions of dollars. And it just shows you like the craziness of what's going on right now. Our time is oh my God, Basil, how in the hell did you do that in the chat? Did you see that? Dude.
No, what?
It was a big seagull in the chat. It's like, how the hell did you do that? I don't know how you did it. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, like with everything, you got to have a plan B. You absolutely have to have a plan B for this platform, because it is temporary. So I'm going to enjoy it while I can. And as we let people roll in, we will discuss the Doctor Who rumors that were erased from the internet. Now, I am going to re-upload that video. I basically took every clip out of it. And there's no way they could take this thing down while I say it this time. But unfortunately, it's going to get killed in the algorithm. YouTube hates it when you double upload. I tried to make it different. I'm going to give it a different thumbnail, a little bit of a different title. But yeah, it's going to go up probably after the show.
Do you really think it makes that much of a difference?
I've done it a couple of times. I mistakenly made something public. And then I unlisted it, and then an hour later I put it back up and it just got destroyed. And then one time there was a YouTube glitch with a Star Wars video and it had like 7,000 views in 10 minutes, but I didn't make it public. I had it at private, and apparently it popped up on my channel and I was getting messages going, your video's up. Why'd you take it back down? I'm like, no, I never put it up. And, that's what right around the time when the beer bug was starting out and YouTube was going through all this weird stuff, and that got killed too. So it absolutely does make a difference. Now, maybe if you wait, I haven't waited, like, you're supposed to wait like 3 hours technically, although Tim Pool and the Quartering they'll put up 2 videos in an hour. They don't give a shit. And that's where I'm at. When, honestly, 252,000, almost 253,000 subs. Fuck it. Make your
bro, yeah.
Just like they said in Risky Business. Just say what the fuck. So let's talk, you know what? You want to start out with the Doctor Who rumors? Let's do it.
Sure, go for it.
Let's
hear it.
Okay. So I've known these for a couple months. This is the same source who told me about the Timeless Child, that they would be retconning the Doctor's past, that they would make the Doctor originally a female. And now the terminology is they changed the Doctor's original gender. So the Doctor being a man first is now just simply an original gender. So it's that source. I've known this person for years. I knew this person prior to me YouTubing, and this person has been a very valuable resource with a lot of stuff. I don't talk about all of it. And he said that this would be the first female Doctor, played by Jodie Whittaker, who we will lovingly call Dr. Karen's final season at Doctor Who, along with Chris Chibnall, with a caveat to this, that there is an impending delay with a lot of TV shows, not just Doctor Who, due to social distancing. In my video, I call it viewer distancing, but they're calling it social distancing. And that's it's putting everybody's schedules in havoc. And this season might be kind of a split season. They might split it, and they'll either say it's just 13 part season 13 part 1 or season 13 part 2, or say season 13 and season 14. Apparently there's no absolute confirmation of this that I know of, but it is commissioned out apparently to season 15. Now this gets into my source's speculation that they want to have a new Doctor in place by a possible 60th anniversary. I say, if it makes it, this big savior that everybody thinks HBO Max is, it's not. There was a lot of money. We had both talked about this in length. There was a lot of money in Hollywood and other places with the development of the streaming services. There was a lot of investor money, and there was just, they had a lot set aside because it is the future. And what Hollywood and the BBC are going to find out, that it's not going to be even close to being as lucrative as they thought it would be. Thanks to the great lady Gravemaster, she showed me a quarterly report from Disney, and it was pathetic what they made. Pathetic.
Oh, I know it.
Pathetic. I mean, we're talking in the tens of millions of dollars, not hundreds, in the tens of millions of dollars for a streaming service. They are dying without movies. So imagine Doctor Who, which is all the value is based on David Tennant, Matt Smith. Nobody likes the new stuff. It's not going to improve. Tell me, have you ever, and there might be an example, but I can't think of one off the top of my head. Have you ever seen a TV show that is 13, 14, 15 seasons in, bounce back to where it was in season 1 and season 2?
No, but I mean, there aren't a lot of shows like that, like in the world. But yeah, I mean, that doesn't really happen.
No. So she will be gone. Now, why or what's behind it in particular, I don't really know. We just got the word that this will be her final season. I'm guessing it's got something to do with the ratings. The BBC will never say that publicly. My source said those definitely matter, by the way. They most definitely matter. And any potential licensing problems they have in the future will be based on, I mean, a lot of their, because Doctor Who is in multiple different countries, but you do know that, it gets edited. Like a lot of stuff gets edited out, and I'm sure you guys can guess the countries, which devalues the show. So she is going to be gone. And it will possibly be a split season, and they can call it season 13 or 14. But, and listen, we've heard this before. We heard this from Starburst magazine back in 2018 when they reported that Chibi and Jodie would be gone after season 12. And technically we haven't seen a season 13 yet, but we're going to see one. The bad news is, I mean, that's the good news, by the way. I mean, the real bad news is this comes too late. I mean, whoop-de-fucking-do. Really, honestly, the damage is done. And this is the bad news. For anybody who was hoping for a retcon of the Timeless Children, and I know even the people who were originally fans of Jodie hate the Timeless Children. They hate the fact that William Hartnell is no longer the first Doctor, and I hate it, and I know you hate it. Everybody freaking hates it. And according to my source, a lot of people who work around Doctor Who hate it, but apparently not too many people hate it who work for Doctor Who currently. That statement by Piers Wenger that said we couldn't be happier with Doctor Who editorially, that is spot on. They could not be happier. They are upset that the fans are not involved enough. I know a lot of us has speculated that. Well, my source has confirmed it, that they just think we're a bunch of plebs. So, not surprised there. They will not be retconning the Timeless Children. And it doesn't take a genius to figure this out. I don't think anybody's surprised by what I'm saying right now. I'm not sitting here going, I'm blowing you away. No, I'm not. But they will not be retconning that. And all you have to do is look around you. Look what's gone down in the last 3 or 4 weeks. Do you think they would even risk any blowback from undoing the origin of the first female Doctor? And undoing what they're going to do? Not in a million years. And my source said, even if the BBC had the desire to do it, which they don't, they would be afraid of the blowback from 4 or 5 people with blue check marks on Twitter that sound like 20,000, but they're not. So that's bad news. So even if we do get a new Doctor, it's going to be the same old, folks. That ain't changing. So when I wish I could bring you better news. I do. I wish I could bring you good news like Doomcock did. I don't have it. It's hashtag RIP Doctor Who all the way. And honestly, even if they did turn the show around, say they got rid of all the identity politics overnight and they just wanted to make a show about unity, like it used to be, and make it fun, it would still be too late. You would get some hardcore fans back, sure, but you wouldn't get the normies back. You wouldn't get what you need back. Can it meander along for a few more seasons? Sure. I didn't hear anything about it getting axed at all. So we'll see. Again, these are rumors. Take them with a grain of salt. And I was kind of hoping for better news, honestly. That's why I was sitting on them. And I did discuss the events of the last 3 to 4 weeks with my source, asking him if that has affected anything with the show. And he's, he couldn't give me anything definitive, but his best educated guess is absolutely yes. So, just look for more of the same. If and when the show starts, it's scheduled to go shoot in September. And we'll see if that's even possible. The head of BBC Wales said it's not right now under current social distancing standards.
No, I don't think it's going to happen. I'm curious about what possible better news you could have been hoping for to have sat on things. Because, I can't imagine what that news could have been.
Retconning the Timeless Child. I was hoping for that. I was hoping to hear that we would get some kind of they would fix it or explain it or just say, fooled you. I mean, listen, it was a percentage, a very small percentage of hope. It was not, so I waited and I heard what I needed to hear. And then when the article came out a week ago saying that they were possibly going to delay the show, and that came from Radio Times, which means they're going to delay the show.
Yeah.
Like they're delaying everything else. So yeah.
Right. It's just there's no way to get over this. There's just no way. I mean, it's exactly what I said with Star Trek, with Star Wars. I mean, there can be no peace as long as this shit still stains the clothing. I mean, they're just not, I don't want to put on those clothes anymore until they get the stains out. And those stains, in the case of Star Trek, is anything done by Kurtzman. In case of Star Wars, it's anything under Kathleen Kennedy's reign. It is just too much of an alteration to the thing that we love, to where we cannot love it anymore. It's mutated. It's grown hideous and distorted. The timeless child is absolutely repugnant in every possible way, to the point where it's very personal. It's very personal. And just like there can be no peace as long as Alex Kurtzman is still running things at Star Trek. I don't give a damn what he does at this point. There is no way to move on or forgive any of the creatives, the so-called creatives. I mean, I have to clean house top to bottom before I will ever give any credence to the Doctor again. And then they have to retcon it. And then they have to make goddamn sure that moving forward, they get rid of this woke crap. I mean, they've almost got to go anti-woke at this point. I mean, it's just too far. Then we've got to have some compensation or something, because I just cannot stand what they've done to that beautiful dream, that beautiful legend. It is not okay, even remotely. So yeah, I just don't give a shit about Doctor Who anymore. It's hopeless. It's hopeless as long as those people are anywhere near it. And I think anybody that watches it at this point is a masochist or a YouTuber or a I think that's the only two possibilities.
Honestly.
Either a masochist or a woke wanker or a YouTuber that has to review this shit. That's the only way I would bother looking at it again, is if I had to review it or something.
Yeah, I mean, that with maybe the super obsessive fan, which is honestly a small percentage of the fan who will just watch anything related to it. And
yeah,
again,
but how can you be a fan after that? How can you be a fan of such ugly retcons of everything that we've known about the Doctor? I mean, they've basically gone into your mind, they've gone into your brain, and they've said, yeah, the thoughts that you had about the Doctor, yeah, not so much. Here, we're going to scramble up your brain a little bit. We're going to go ahead and sodomize your memories. And how do you like that?
Right. No, I cannot reconcile it, and I am with you. I can't get my head around how you could still be a fan of the show. And, we both said that after we saw that final episode. I was like, this is it. This is the line in the sand. This is where we find out if you're a shill or a Doctor Who fan. And even what culture, which is, I mean, I won't say the wokest of the woke, but the shilly of the shill. They started a new channel, or I think it's Who Culture. Yeah, Who Culture. Probably because they wanted to get the Doctor Who stuff off their main channel. And even the guy who was a major apologist is calling this crap, which I was shocked because I thought I was ready to kind of roast his video. And I'm like, oh, well, I actually, he even mentioned the agenda. I was like, whoa. And it is that bad. And I'm glad people are starting to recognize you're welcome over here anytime. It takes a lot of us different, moments to go through the process until you finally realize like, oh shit, it is woken. Oh, maybe those critics aren't ists and foes. Maybe they just simply don't like what's been done to a show that used to bring people together. And we have a shortage of things bringing people together right now. God, honestly, even with what we do here on YouTube, it's the most uniting thing in entertainment right now. I won't, with what's going on, with live streams and what we're doing here in the Fandom Menace in and around that, even, EFAP and stuff like that. That's more entertaining, more uniting than any of the garbage we're seeing from Hollywood and the BBC.
Yeah. I mean, it's actually kind of cathartic. I mean, it's
really
therapeutic at this point, honestly. I think, a lot of people forget even about entertainment. It's just a way to ease the pain, to band together around the digital fire and sit upon the ground and tell sad stories of the death of kings, as Shakespeare put it. It's a lot better to be able to band together in our tribe and mourn together the passing of these giants from the earth than it is to endure it alone. I mean, lashing out, railing, and not going quiet into that good night. That was my channel. That's why I started it. That's the only reason I started it, was just to bitch about Star Trek Discovery and how appalled I was. Just straight up, because I felt absolutely gaslit by the media, and I just wanted to see if there was any sanity out there in the world, or if I was alone in just being the last living cell in a dying body, as they said on the Dick Van Dyke Show with Danny Thomas's low lack of twilight. No, that was Laura Petrie. I forget what Danny Thomas was. It was the sci-fi episode that they had, which was really funny. See, I live, eat, breathe, and radiate pop culture of all kinds, all ages, and I love this stuff passionately. And when your love is abused, it's a special kind of pain, and we are all suffering that pain right now, all of us.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay. So real quick, because they're asking in the chat, and you're probably wondering, on the video itself, and I'll try to keep this as brief as possible. The entire video, Doctor Who video, was copyright claimed. So I don't have a strike. I got a claim, but it was blocked throughout the entire planet Earth. I think it was available on Neptune, but that was about it. That has never happened to me before. I have never, not recently anyway. It's happened to me on a live stream, but it hasn't happened on a video. And nowadays, when they copyright claim you, they keep your video up. They just take the money and they show you a timestamp, and you can edit that clip out. Now, I had clips in the videos, but it's the same clips you've seen over and over again in all of my Doctor Who videos. The montage of the Doctor in the Matrix and the montage of the Timeless Children, repeated throughout my last 6 or 7 Doctor Who videos over the last 3 or 4 months with no problem whatsoever. I even had this one done early. I uploaded it early, unlisted it as YouTube does recommend. No problem. And that lets the little bots run through, and again, no problem. I made it public, and then Quarter Black Garrett from Louder with Crowder came through town because he was up in the Chaz, and I went and met him. We came back to the house, had a little chit chat before he went to Vegas, and my phone was blowing up, and I'm like, I looked at it and I saw my video was down. I'm like, God damn it. So I thought it was just a clip, but I just completely wiped out. That's unprecedented. Again, these are clips that I've used before. Now, can they pick and choose clips if they want? Sure. Where's the timestamp? Why would you claim the whole damn video?
Well, I don't know. That's really weird. It seems like they would want to go ahead and if they were wanting to shut you up, I mean, it didn't get yanked. They were just trying to get the money from it.
No, it got
Isn't
yanked.
that right?
No, it got yanked. It got completely
Oh, it got yanked.
Yeah, it got yanked.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Then
now,
they just
the
wanted
money,
to shut
I'd
you
say
up.
keep the damn money. I don't care.
They just wanted to shut you up.
Yep.
They didn't like the news, which probably means it's true.
Mm-hmm.
So no greater endorsement hath a YouTuber than when his news gets struck down. That means, struck a knife, eh?
Maybe.
Oh, well, I don't know. What else could it be?
Maybe
what else could it be?
They could be pissed off about the last one. I don't know.
Well,
I mean, honestly, listen, I don't run with them that much. I just don't. I mean, I could, but I don't, because, well, I don't hear from a ton of people. Once in a while I do. And it's still weird. I mean, it's bizarre that people do reach out to us, and it's not the size of your channel at all, because people were reaching out to me and Doomcock when our channels were still growing. I had people, when I was reviewing Happy, one of the actresses from the show contacted us. That's when I had 300 subs. So that doesn't matter, honestly. It's just, being able to answer the email or contacting the right people. And I'm sure I've missed plenty of emails but yeah, it's still bizarre. But this situation was, this is a person I found. I can't say, it was through the comic shop. Okay. It was through the comic shop.
Uh-huh.
And our relationship started just loving Doctor Who. That was it. We nerded out over Doctor Who. That's how we became friends. And that person is not in the state, I'll say, but very knowledgeable and has worked a long time in the industry, we'll say. So yeah, maybe. Well, I guess we'll find out. Hey, listen, the fact remains, it's eventually going to be true. She ain't staying forever, and I think I even mentioned that in my video. I had a couple of, what sucks? And I know listen, I don't mean that these are YouTuber problems, but when you have a couple of good jokes, you're like, oh, these are good. And they're gone now,
Yeah. I know. Oh yeah. I mean, that's what when YouTube had their change of terms of service, their standards or whatever, talking about harassment or that kind of crap, where even humor or something. So I took a lot of videos down just because of my acerbic wit. I thought probably some whiners might so, but I'm putting them back up, but it's on my Patreon. But
that's good. That's smart.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it sucks. A lot of funny stuff.
No, and
that falls by the wayside.
It does. And I mean, I haven't done that yet. I thought about doing it. I just listen. When they're going to get you when they want to get you, and it could be for anything. We saw that with Dr. Disrespect. Again, I do not pretend to know anything about this guy other than he's got a pretty funny shtick. And I watched his live stream where it looked like he on a live stream, Doomcock, he got the news that he was banned from Twitch, and you could see it. You could see it in his face. I mean, you felt for the guy. Have no idea what's going on. I mean, there's so much cancel culture going on. Like, we could most definitely talk about Warren Ellis, because it's pretty clear with Warren Doomcock. It was flirting. He was just flirting. He was just playing the game. And we do have some bad news. So that thing we just discussed, Doomcock, it made Deadline.
Yeah.
It made Deadline.
I was just actually looking that up myself there. And so, I mean, it's even worse than what I had thought, but I don't know. I mean, I guess let it play out, but I can't believe that. That's
unfortunate news for fans of The Expanse. Cass Anvar is under investigation right now by Alcon Entertainment. The Expanse is one of our all-time favorite shows.
Yep.
And
absolutely one of my favorites, and it's heartbreaking. I mean, I can't imagine. So essentially, the under investigation is for I believe they said sexual harassment and misconduct, assault, I mean, anything like that is not okay. Sexual harassment and sexual assault, it says. Holy crap. Now, I know nothing of the case. I mean, I haven't even, I just read this article. I'd heard a few things on Twitter, but I hadn't, pursued it or anything. I'm not on Twitter very much. So when I was coordinating Inquisition with Gary, I saw a lot of the stuff earlier today for the first time. And I'm like, oh, Jesus. It's awful. And I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if he'll be cleared. I don't know, but that kind of thing is not okay.
No, it's not. And you know what? There's so much conflation going on.
Oh yeah. I mean, cancel culture. I mean, that whole shit with Warren Ellis. It sounds to me like they're accusing Warren Ellis of being a male.
Yep.
And heterosexual and liking women and flirting with women. And fuck you if that's the problem. You know what? No, you're not going to cancel males. That woke SJW bullshit. I mean, it's one thing. Men pursue women. And, a man who is a successful man, you can't give him cancel culture just for, he didn't have any power. From what I understand, and I'm not an expert on the Warren Ellis thing either, but you said it looks like he's just flirting, basically.
He was flirting in his forum. Women of age, in their mid-20s, were going in there and knew that with a little flirtation, it might get you some access to the comic book industry. Kelly Sue DeConnick came out and admitted she met her husband in that forum, and I knew about that forum back in the day, and it was pretty famous. It was pretty famous for being salty and honestly a great place for free speech where you could listen, these people right now, it was the breeding ground for SJW Marvel. So, but the thing is, they're all hypocrites. So all the stuff we're accused of being too salty or being ists and phobes, they were saying worse shit than we've ever said in that forum. The James Gunn type of humor was going on all effing day. As a matter of fact, if you weren't slinging it like James Gunn humor, they would boot you from the forum. And I'm okay with that. I am absolutely okay with that. You can get as dark as you want, because if you don't like it, you could just not be in the forum as an adult. There's this whole situation is you don't have to destroy something because you don't like it. You just don't participate. Now, of course, we're just talking about humor here and not talking about anything else. And if any other, and I know you know this too, but if any other serious allegations come against Warren Ellis, I, of course, reserve the right to change my mind, but I haven't heard any yet. I haven't heard shit. And they tried to bring his story up with Cameron Stewart. Now, he designed the new crappy Batgirl costume. Now, his allegations are serious. Like, that dude needs to go. Like, he needs to be canceled. He was talking allegedly, to save all of our asses here, underage girls. So, bye. See you later. But with Warren was just being a player. And come on, you and I love Warren Ellis, right? Not the best looking guy in the world. And that doesn't matter sometimes. You can have game. Look at Jack Nicholson. He's a great example of a lot of game. Game is equal or better than his looks, according to Mrs. Nerdrotic. So Warren Ellis obviously had some serious game, and I respect that. So, but the thing is, he canceled himself. He bent the knee to these people.
Don't bend the knee. For what? For what? For being a flirt? For having the unpardonable crime of sleeping with women of age? Even if he did? Who gives a shit? I don't get this SJW woke whiny ass cancel culture where basically a woman will flirt with the guy back and maybe get involved or something and then repent of it, regret it, not get what they want out of it, and then they say, oh well, I was this, I was that. It's like, if you are of age, then accept responsibility as an adult for your actions. Don't try to pass it off on Warren Ellis or anybody else.
Well, that's just like the Angry Joe situation. And this is what it sounds like to me. Okay, this is just my opinion on what evidence, not evidence, but what information I have out there. Somebody tried to cancel Angry Joe, the YouTuber, big time YouTuber, and thank God he stood up for himself. We need that to, especially, if you're innocent, absolutely fight for your life, because that's what it is. And that's what he did. He immediately pulled out some receipts. There was inconsistencies in the woman's story, and it looked like to me that she was somebody in a relationship who was with another guy at the time, and then trying to flirt up another guy, and maybe got caught by the boyfriend, and maybe need to come up with a story, because I have certainly seen that happen in my relationships before. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. Again, that is purely my speculation. But Joe stood up for himself immediately. And I want to give full credit to Az, my good friend Az from Heel versus Babyface on this one. He said this Friday night. There's one simple word we need to use, and it's no. It's just flat out fucking no. We're not playing by your rules. We're not going to bend the knee. We're not going to start changing the definition of words to fit narratives. No. The answer is fucking no from now on. And we really do need to fight back on this, because the vast majority of people, and myself included, okay, we're kind of sitting back and watching, and maybe we're in shock right now. And it is shocking what's going on, but there's a point where we all need to kind of stand up, say something, fight for what we believe in the best way we can. Okay. Not everybody can. I understand that. But we certainly have a responsibility to keep our freedom. It requires work.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. I mean, if we just stand by and let these, SJW, whiny wokers, these cancel culturists, seize control of the narrative. I mean, they are basically they're trying to cancel men, just straight up. They're just trying to cancel men. And, and cancel celebrities, cancel white privilege if the men happen to be white. It's just another angle of attack of an old trope of racism and sexism and kind of nanny state mentality of people who are trying to embrace victimhood and sponge off of other people's celebrity. It's just pretty sick. And we need to start calling people on it.
Immediately. And
Yes.
No, I don't believe anyone. I'm not gonna believe all of anything. And that is the craziest narrative I've ever heard, personally. I understand. The reason a lot of victims are afraid to come forward is because of the backlash. And the backlash, you see, this is, cyclical here, is because there's been a lot of girl crying wolf situations, and we can't parse that out. So obviously I would love to believe victims, and the real ones, I feel for them, and they're in bad situations. It is scary, and now it's made worse because there's a bunch of people faking this crap out there for attention, like you said, to sponge. I haven't heard that term in a long time. That's an old drug dealer term I used to hear.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like, so they're like old drug dealer back in the drug dealing days. Every drug dealer had the guy who was willing to be very helpful for everything, just as long as he got free drugs. He made himself or herself available to help, be an assistant, so they could get free drugs. They were sponges. You learn something every day, don't you? Oh,
it's
man.
weird.
It's so weird what's going on. But I was talking about it with Quarterback Garrett and the guys today. There's going to be a point where we have to do something now. And we talked about it Friday night. And the shittiest thing about this is we got to start playing by their rules. We do. I mean, we can't just taking the high road all the time. I don't know if that's going to work. I wish it would, but I don't think it's going to work. I think we're going to have to cancel back. We're going to have to do stuff, and it sucks. It sucks because, you want to be consistent, and cancel culture sucks. It absolutely sucks. But if they're going to start coming at you and you're, and as I'll use my I statements, if I'm constantly on the defensive about stuff that are just ridiculous accusations which have been made towards you. They've had an article. You've had a couple articles written about you saying horrible things.
Oh, white nationalist over on Plant Boy and then Esquire.
Yeah.
What was it? Was it Esquire?
It was Esquire, and it was who was
Plant
Matthew?
Boy, yeah.
Plant Boy's from Esquire, and the other one was a major. It starts with an I. Why am I blanking on it now, but it's a big magazine. The guy's name was Matthew something or other. And
no, that was Plant Boy, and Esquire was the one.
Esquire, not I. Plant Boy's on Inverse. He's on Inverse.
Right.
Esquire was Matthew something. That's the one who called us, you by name, and all of us in the Fandom Menace, the white nationalist wing of entertainment journalism.
Yes. I mean, it's just insane.
And just said it. Just go ahead and set it. No blowback at all.
Blew back on him.
Well, yeah, I'm videos, but I mean, no. I mean, this is not this dude would not say this to anybody's face. He's a very brave guy being propped up by his big corporation, taking on individuals, by the way. And wonder how that corporation's doing. I wonder how an internet rag is doing these days.
Oh, I don't think so good. I don't think so good at all.
So yeah, F the BBC, by the way. Fuck the BBC.
Yes.
This happened. The last strike I got was CBS. So, get hit. I guess I'm doing something right. Canceled Venom for 2 Canadian pesos, says, "Hail Gary, hail Doomcock, PS, F the BBC. Yes. Yeah. Corey Tim McGinn, welcome to the proto-molecule level. I thank you. And listen, this, I just got mad. I'm going to re-upload the video and then I will be over it. I don't stew. It's not very healthy. Plus there's a lot more going on in my world. I apologize. I haven't had a lot of videos coming out. I actually had 2 ready for the first time ever. And this happened. But yeah, there's a lot going on here in the city. I'm sure if you guys are in a city, I was talking to just some guy about it on Friday. It's kind of hairy in cities. Not bad, not like Mad Max or anything, but it's I'm getting my family out of here for 4th of July just as a precautionary measure. I'm going to stay, but
oh really?
Yeah, cuz we're packing up. So we've started packing. There's boxes everywhere in my house now. But the channel should not have any further interruption. I have taken measures to make sure that nothing gets interrupted. Diggy Akuma for $5. Hail Doomcock. Hail to you too, Nerdrotic. Hail. So glad I can join the Inquisition stream before I return to full work schedule. Well, congratulations on returning to a full work schedule. I love that. That would solve a lot of problems, wouldn't it, Doomcock?
Oh, I know it, man. Digi Akuma, you will be missed, but I hope we will see you, when you get off and, still running or something, pop on in, brother. But I'm proud of you. I'm glad to hear that. And well done.
That's exciting. That's great. Yeah, I think we just all need to get back to work where we can. And really just, this is probably not the best advice on YouTube, but whatever. Despite what city officials say, I think you should just, be as safe as you can, but I don't think we can stop the economy for much longer. To be honest with you, I think we just need to get back to work. And there's risks in life we all need to take. Cardinal Sin for $4.99. Hail Father Gary and Father Doomcock and Wrenches in chat. Laid up. Oh yeah, that's right. Laid up for surgery on my ankle. I can't recommend it. But also hail to Harvey and Sabu. Yeah, that doesn't sound like anything I want to go through, Cardinal Sin.
Hail Cardinal Sin. And Sabu says hello as well.
And hello, Cardinal Sin. Get better, dude. Get better, and don't do the AC thing anymore, okay?
Yeah.
Your future as a Maytag repairman is very, very, very limited.
So were you doing a little DIY, doing it yourself?
I think he was trying to install an AC unit, and that plus gravity equaled surgery. Yeah.
Gravity sucks. They say that.
Gravity does.
Yeah. Czech Dragon demands new video. You will explode, says Mr. Gentleman for $2. Well, I'm sure you'll get new videos from Doomcock this week, and yours truly. You will. They are coming.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. Honestly, there is no shortage of stuff to talk about. I'm backlogged, and yeah, I'll just get through it. Sleeping is for wusses. Private Halo for 117 for $9.99. Hi, Gary. Did you hear that they're going after anime voice actors in Japan? Is trying to fight back. We need to support them any way possible. Do you agree? P.S. Hi, Dunkirk. Yeah, I mean, well, what are they going after them for?
Yeah, what's going on? I mean, I'm not up on news in Japan, so I don't have any idea.
Are they trying? Well, they're good. The voice actors are quitting that were voice acting, like black characters, fictional 2-dimensional black characters. Doomcock. If the voice doesn't match now these were actors quitting, and there is an argument to be made. Be the change you want to be. So,
yeah. So if they're woke wankers, go ahead.
Yeah.
Put your money where your mouth is.
Yep. But no, this is just one more thing that's headed. We're heading towards segregation, folks. We're heading towards segregation. This is a power grab. It's nothing else. People of common sense come in all makes and sizes. And I think we can all agree this is getting effing ridiculous. What the hell was that? Something slammed.
Mothra!
Might be Mothra. Something just... You might hear explosions and stuff in the background. It's just,
You did say San Francisco's a wreck. Well, I guess
it
now
is.
We know why.
That would make sense. If it was Mothra, at least it'd be cool. I'd be all, the end of the world. But it's Mothra, Doomcock. That's kind of cool.
I know. I want to go find the two girls, the two Wonder Twins that are singing and, on top of your toast or something. Go look in the kitchen, see if they're there, What was I going to say? I really, segregation, what you were talking about. I mean, really, what SJW things are not aimed at dividing us? What are aimed not at dividing? I mean, the cancel culture is designed to root out orthodoxy and set up a underclass of people who have been canceled and expelled. All of these calling out of race is going to have the end result of basically just leaving us all more isolated in different camps. I mean, people have been a lot of like celebs and stuff have opened their mouths about the Black Lives Matters movement, and but they phrase it a little wrong, or it's not, and then the SJWs just ascend on them. So I mean, the woke are devouring the woke. It's amazing, and what it's going to do is it's basically going to make a lot of people just throw up their hands and say, you know what, I might speak out. But you know what? I can't risk it because you people are insane. So I'm just going to shut my mouth and say not a damn thing. And that's not helpful either. Any of these movements that make people feel excluded, make people feel like, they're vulnerable and they don't want to open their hearts. Welcome to SJW America, really.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing we can hope for is they eat each other. And there is a great argument to be made to maybe just let that happen. Unfortunately, we're going to lose. We already have, though. I mean, we've already lost a bunch of things we love. Like Doctor Who, we've lost Doctor Who. We've lost Star Trek. We've lost Star Wars until I see differently. And I don't think these things are ever going to, they will not come back to their former glory years. There might be something acceptable for some people. I could give a shit about most of that stuff now, and that sucks. But art overall, Doomcock. Now, I only know this because I saw it on a title of a video. It looks like Gone with the Wind is back on HBO Max. probably with a warning.
Probably with a warning, and I guess they took off those 5 episodes of South Park
Yes.
to make room for it, because that's the way it goes. One in, one out, as Bogart famously said in Casablanca. I didn't know digital, you had to actually physically make room, but they had to take 5 episodes of South Park away to make room for Gone with the Wind. It's weird how that works. I guess they have shelves at HBO Max or something. What else have they gotten rid of? I mean, I know that they're censoring all sorts of things over there.
We don't even know, right? I mean,
right.
This is just the stuff we know, but South Park is bad enough. Can you guys subscribe to that streaming service? I mean, honestly, at this point, I don't give a shit about Snyder Cut. Sorry, Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
I can't with good conscience support something that's editing art. And I don't know, where are the effing artists in this? You guys need to be fighting. I'm sorry, Trey Parker, dude, you have enough money. You should be speaking up. What are you worried you're going to stop getting paid? You're a multimillionaire. You could never spend all your money. Stand up for yourself. And
really. I mean, what do you, and besides, they're not going to hire you, for further things. I mean, South Park may be grandfathered in because it has such a following and a cult following, but they could never start a South Park up these days.
Nope.
Not in the current regime of Hollywood. So your career is in its twilight unless you stand up and march with us and fight back against this cultural vandalism, this deletion of our culture.
Yeah, everybody's bending the knee, and honestly, there's a point where it's selfish, especially when you're a multimillionaire. You could afford to take a little punishment for the sake of art, for the greater good of the art. And I mean, like you just said, he's not getting any new work anyway. We're not going to get Team America 2. Okay.
No,
that's not happening. The dude's already set. I would be, could you imagine them doing that to Warren Ellison or Harlan Ellison? Sorry, Harlan Ellison. If he was still alive today, holy shit, he'd be speaking out against this stuff. He'd be fucking horrified. But we don't have anybody like that anymore. Everybody's got their big lucrative corporate deals, and that has fucked everything up. I can now say this freely. Listen, corporate America fucked up comic books. It should have never, ever have become corporate. It just, they don't go together at all. And that's what, comic books are dead just because of that. So the minute Marvel bought, and you could trace it back to Warner Brothers buying Disney, honestly, or DC. But, the minute Disney bought Marvel, it was over. The comic industry was over. It just, died a very slow death. And now we're seeing these big corporations involved in film, and what happens to them? They're homogenized, and all of a sudden you can't do this, and now you can't portray anything other than, pretty much every bad guy in every film now is going to be a Swedish biker on meth. That's it. You can't portray anybody else as a bad guy. And they might show women as a bad guy. I mean, listen, they're going to start vilifying all men, by the way, of all colors, and white women soon. That's coming, folks. And that's where they will eat themselves. But, I made that argument in my Doctor Who video. And this is purely just my speculation. But I fully believe that the events of the last 3 to 4 weeks put a spotlight on the white savior that Jodie Whittaker is. If you really look at the show, especially one particular clip, I might have the picture. Do I have the picture of Tolson Cole? Hang on. I think I have this picture here somewhere. There it is. There it is. This is how the BBC sees what they call, I don't use a person of color. That robs a lot of people of a lot of things, and it's regressive in my opinion. I also don't call anyone marginalized. Doesn't mean I don't think life isn't fair. Life is not fair. Some people get more breaks than others, but I would never call an individual marginalized. You are not. And where to go now? Here it goes. But here's a picture of Tolson Cole. This was going. I think it's in my video. This is how the BBC. Yeah, there you go, right there. that is from Orphan 55. Yeah.
Wow, sucking his thumb.
Sucking his thumb, and there's another girl sucking her thumb, and now you're supposed to suck your thumb. Yeah, if you there was some virus
Why?
you got from a vending machine, and you had to suck your thumb for it to go away. And the question is why? Why did they put that in the show? What's the theme behind that? What's the reason? Things don't accidentally go in the scripts, okay? You have a reason for every single thing you do. And to do this, was it supposed to be a comedic moment? Actually wasn't even close to being funny. So, yeah, I don't know.
To go ahead and belittle?
Yeah.
You put certain characters in their place if they're getting a little too prominent around Jodie Foster's The Doctor, since she's the mostest, bestest, wonderfulest ever. I don't know. So in this next season, are they going to have a virus or an alien that is targeting anyone without the ritual cones of authority on their heads? And this will be in the 50s. And so to escape his wrath, the men will have to be trapped in a school and will put on dunce caps and he'll see the cone and move on. And then Jodie will come in and say, "Oh, finally, some truth in advertising," or something like that. You know what I mean?
I've had an upgrade. We could all walk around like Captain Pike does in Star Trek Discovery Season 2. You notice how he always walked around with his hands folded over his genitals with a dunce hat. Yeah, we totally could do that. That is a revealing photo of how the BBC sees human beings on this planet. And they are going to be the ones to save everyone or keep us all separated. I can't decide. Oh, I can. It's to keep us all separated.
Well, when you keep on calling out differences, pro or con, it is divisive. It is divisive. And it makes people think in categories. It doesn't make people think of people as people. It makes people think of people as categories, as different demographics. It divides. It sets up mental partitions. Whereas before all this shit, I would watch a movie or something and I would see a character. I wouldn't think, oh, well, this is a stunning, bold choice that this African-American character is here, or this Indian character, or this Hispanic character. I didn't think a damn thing of it. I just thought, here's a character. But now that everything's politicized, it makes it that much harder to achieve the kind of utopian equality envisioned by Roddenberry and stuff, because we have these mental partitions thrown up because of all this constant sensitivity and kowtowing to these kind of racial distinctions, these agendas, these sexual racial divisions that under the guise of liberating us from them, they're trying to actually perpetuate them, to further impose them, to strengthen them. I think that there is some kind of, and I'll just get a little bit conspiratorial here, do a little tiny little exozone here.
It is the time for stuff like this.
I think it is. I think that maybe there are a whole bunch of racists and sexists, like straight up racists and sexists, doing their very best to injure the very movements that they purport to be forwarding by doing it in such a ham-handed, stupid, and ugly way. It's like, it's almost like somebody wearing a conical sheet with holes cut in it saying, I know, let's go ahead and write this Mikey Spock character and make everybody loathe this person. What good does that do to people who are trying to, integrate entertainment, who are trying to, put forward a positive role model for that demographic? Well, you know what? That character is a disgusting, obnoxious, incompetent, traitorous, mutinous piece of filth. It's just there is nothing to love about that character. So I ask you, what better way would there to be to undermine the cause of diversity and equality and everything else than to give them what they want and do a leading character that's obnoxious as hell to turn people away from that concept? Think about it.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And it's on display over and over again in a lot of Alex Kurtzman's work. The end of Star Trek Picard, when Rios, is that his name, breaks out the soccer ball to save
I know.
everybody. I mean, all he needed was a toolbox and to be working on a car in a garage. And they probably would have had that, and it maybe some burritos or something, and they would have actually had the stereotype all the way through. And Hollywood does this stuff all the time. Think about it. They're canceling these voices. These voice actors are canceling themselves because it's white actors, again, voicing a two-dimensional, fake, fictional black character.
No.
Well, I was watching
God.
Princess Bride. Mandy Patinkin isn't Spanish.
No.
Yeah, so you need to cancel him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's an actor, and it's a beloved character. Same thing. It should have been grandfathered in, like Apu, right? On The Simpsons, was voiced by Hank Azaria. Hanked by. I'll tell you what. And he should have kept doing it. I mean,
Yeah.
Because that's the way that the character was. So all this like self-cancellation before other people will cancel them. They go ahead and voluntarily step aside. I'm convinced out of fear. I don't know. I mean, maybe they do honestly believe it, but I suspect it's fear. I suspect it's fear. In the same way that I say that this entire cancel culture is a form of thought control, because what they're trying to do is make everyone so scared of getting backlashed, of saying something wrong, saying the right thing but in the wrong way will also get you canceled. It is a form of self-policing thought control, not only limiting freedom of speech, but you've got to, if you're out in the public life, if you're even a YouTuber or anybody else, they want us to be so scared that we will not only censor speech, but have to censor thought, lest a stray thought translate into speech and slip our mouths, slip our lips without us being ready. You know what I'm saying? Like off guard and then get canceled. Mm-hmm. It really is. It is a form of thought control. It is just even more insidious than the old Soviet model, the old Nazi model of spy on your neighbors, to inform on your neighbors. They're trying to train us to spy on ourselves.
Yep.
To spy on ourselves, to short circuit our thought processes, so that we won't actually say anything that they don't approve of. And that is the most pernicious form of police stating. Because they're getting us to police ourselves, our own fucking thoughts.
Yeah.
Isn't that awful?
It's terrible.
That's really what they're doing. And that's why all these people are like, oh, well, I better anticipate. I'm thinking like them. I have to anticipate. Oh my God. I'm voicing a character I shouldn't be voicing. I better cancel myself before I get canceled. And then I can put the phony tinfoil halo on my fucking head for another day. But it only lasts another day because tomorrow is another day that you might slip up. So it only buys you another day of survival in this SJW woke nightmare that we find ourselves in.
God,
it's sick.
Would you even want to work in Hollywood right now? I mean, like,
no,
it'd be terrible. Honestly. And the good thing about this, I'm sorry it's gotten to this point where this is the good thing. It will eat itself. Talented people will now, that talent, there's a finite amount of talent in the world. It will go somewhere else. It will go to something else, and it will not go to Hollywood anymore. We are seeing the beginning of the end of Hollywood. It's over. You cannot make entertainment anymore. You can't show boobs anymore. You can't cuss anymore. You can't, honestly, the religious right won, but they just turned into the far, far left, and it's gone insane. It's gone absolutely insane, and it's not going to stop. And you know what? Jar Jar Abrams, Bad Robot. I blame you. I blame you.
Yeah.
Bad Robot made a statement, made some of the most insanely stupid statements. Now, on the surface, what's wrong with calling out white supremacy? Absolutely nothing. But that's not what they were doing. That's not what they were doing at all. They were virtue signaling, and while they were doing that, they were empowering. They weren't empowering the organizations that they donated. They were empowering people who are destroying this country right now. And we can't fight about that. They just absolutely sold everybody out to make themselves look good.
Mm-hmm.
And they came up with a pamphlet that is literal propaganda.
Yeah.
It's right there out in the open.
Horrible.
Holy shit. And a table of contents that has all the information on page 19, by the way. There's like 7 things on page 19, and it's ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous to say out loud, and to pretend this exists. But see, they're not going after white supremacy. No. It's Western culture.
Yep.
It's Western culture. Although Bad Robot would not exist without Western culture. So I don't know what their end game is, Doomcock.
Well, they're destroying it one franchise at a time.
Yep.
Without the manual, it just makes it clear that maybe it was deliberate all along. Maybe it wasn't just sheer rank greed and incompetence. Maybe there was a ideological component to it as well. Which I've never really bought into when it was from Jar Jar Abrams. I always assumed he's just a greedy son of a gun who knows how to write a hell of a great contract. And protected his financial interests and looked out for number one. But Jesus Christ. His wife was behind the Pound Me Too movement. Mm-hmm. And, he's now doing this thing about let's end white privilege. Let's start with yours, Jar Jar.
Yep.
Let's start with yours, because you're about the most out of all of us sitting here. Jar Jar, I hate to tell you, buddy, you're the most privileged of all of us. And, if I were you, I would probably cancel myself. If I had your views, I would promote well, I don't know what we call them these days, non-white, let's just say that, and hire them to be the new Jar Jar Abrams.
Yeah, take over bad reboot. Get somebody.
Yeah. Give it to them. Haven't you
you
made
want.
enough money?
It
Why
would
don't
make
you
it
do
better
something?
automatically?
Right.
You could just get somebody. It would be better. Anybody. So I'm all for replacing Jar Jar Abrams. Alex Kurtzman too. Alex Kurtzman and Akiva Goldsman are. I always equate them to like Bobby Valentine. Bobby Valentine. He's a manager from the baseball who got a bunch of jobs and was mediocre, but he kept getting rehired and rehired. That's Alex Kurt. That's Akiva Goldsman. He might have wrote a good script somewhere. I haven't seen it, but he keeps getting work and he sucks. He absolutely sucks. Oh my gosh, doggy. But, I listen, there with no movie theaters and no big blockbuster movies, there is no Disney, there is no streaming services. There's none of this shit. None of this shit is going to happen. And I think a lot's going to change after November, no matter what. I think, I know there's a lot of political activities going on right now. And you talked about getting conspiratorial. I think the entire country is starting to wake up to be a little conspiratorial at this point. There's a lot of coincidences going on. And you know how I feel about those. I feel the same way you do about them personally.
Yeah.
Cardinal Sin. Hope your leg gets better, dude. Hi, Gary.
Yeah.
Did you hear? I read that one. I watched Razor Fist vid, and honestly, it was terrifying. We should stop thinking this as a culture war. It's clear it's another attempt by communists to infiltrate and destabilize our country. IK 1906? Yes. Absolutely yes. You can't dance around this anymore. I mean, listen, this stuff is being forced upon us. I would love to be reviewing The Expanse right now. I would. Or breaking down some Lord of the Rings lore. But there's other shit going on right now that's pretty important, and we try to keep it as fun as we can. But this cancel culture shit is just getting out of fucking control. And I mean, you know this is true. Tomorrow morning, it will be somebody or something new. Some company or some guy or some gal. Not a lot of gals getting canceled. Notice that.
No, there's not really a whole lot of gals being canceled at all. But really, the SJWs have basically become like Nomad in Star Trek.
Oh, yeah.
Season 2. It's like, Kirk got him to self-destruct because he was targeting everything that was not perfect. And he, Kirk was saying, "You are flawed and imperfect. Execute your primary function." Error. Well, that's the thing. That's what the SJWs are doing right now. All of us are imperfect. And, it's just a matter of finding the right imperfection and then falling on it, swarming on it like a bunch of ants. So yeah, we really do. We need to basically be on the watch of this stuff.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
And don't play their damn games. Like straight up, like say no, and maybe get off Twitter, or if you're okay being on Twitter. Listen, I'm pretty open about my shit. I get out in front of it. I'm not worried about much. They've already tried. And the one piece of leverage they already had, well, that's gone now. So they can try all day long. It doesn't exist anymore. So, and that's too flippin' bad, but that's the way things go. Hail, Gary and DC. Now they're trying to cancel John Wayne. Yeah, I saw something about John Wayne Airport.
In California, they're going to rename John Wayne Airport, which is just, the whole world is going to be better now, isn't it? Because that was one of our pressing problems, was that John Wayne had an airport named after him. John Wayne has been causing so much of our modern problems in this world. And I'm really glad somebody's on that shit now. Really am. Renaming an airport, gee whiz. I feel safer. All those stores that got burned down, I feel a lot better about them. That place that was the practical museum of science fiction literature that got torched. But we're going to rename John Wayne Airport. What are we going to name it? Tico Woke Titty Airport? What's it going to be exactly? Probably Tico Woke Titty Airport.
Fucking Orange County, I'm disappointed in you.
I just don't get it. I mean, it's like, what is the point? What in God's name is the point?
Know it's what Ikane just said. This isn't cancel culture. This is
cultural vandalism.
It's
just trying to erase white males. Just because he's a white male. That's it. What else is there?
We can fight back. We don't have to put up with this shit. We really don't. We aren't what they say we are. And by the way, this is a small minority of people. Let's keep perspective here, folks. Like the amount of people that are in the chat, the chode up in Seattle is like a few hundred, a couple hundred. That's it. The entirety of the the people who were at the peak of the protesting, and let's count. I'm sorry, I'm going to count protesters, rioters, and looters all together. Probably didn't equal a million people in a country with 331 million people. We give the mainstream media the power. We give the social media the power, Twitter the power. We need to take that back. There's a point where we're just absolutely need to take that back. I'm going to do what I can in my little world, but this is enough, man. I'm fucking done with Twitter. I watched, Razor Fist had a couple of great videos, IK 906, and one of them is, watch the Take a Chill Pill one. That one's good too. It kind of balances out the other one, I think. He breaks down some numbers and shows that it really is much smaller than it appears. And he also shows some video about how this is planned to look much bigger than it really is. The woke are going to focus on what they fear the most: real, organic, grassroots, unbiased content creators that are successful pooping on their narrative. Corey B for $4.99. As long as we're here, that's why I said we got to kind of use their rules. I mean, honest, Twitter is their platform. It is straight up an SJW platform.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
I mean, that's why I've been on it less and less and less. I just, I'll post a little something here or there. Very rarely. I don't read much that goes on. I don't have time for it.
No.
I don't have time for it.
No, you're much better off. And I haven't had time for it. And occasionally I peek in, see Perry Chan or somebody like that, but that's it. Oh my God. It's been a week. Folks, it's been a week. I'm glad it's over. And we got a new one coming, but the Belgian Syrup Prince for £10. Gary, I discovered your channel when I was looking for an honest review of Dark Fate. Thanks to you, I got to know Doomcock's channel. So in the end, all those crappy woke movies were good for something. Why, thank you, the Belgian Syrup Prince. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. That's wonderful. I mean, there is definitely a good cross-pollination between our channels, and the Inquisition is, of course, your must-see Sunday destination. It's just, you gotta, every Sunday, gotta be here. We go over everything that happens in our inimitable way. And it's a hell of a lot of fun. Inimitable.
Such a big words there, Doomcock.
Well,
well, you're smart.
What can I do?
Okay.
Sorry.
Do never apologize for having the big brain. Some simoleons to continue the good fight. Hashtag RIP the BBC. Thank you, Arisaka, for $2. And fuck the BBC. Listen, I understand why they were mad. And I guess they don't have the right to take me down. It was a false copyright claim. I have used the clips before. The precedent has been set, but that is the system, folks. The system only works. We're only here until YouTube doesn't want us here anymore, or one of these companies, and they just decide to pick and choose. But to the letter of the law, I was doing everything right. I was talking about the clips I had displayed. They were under 9 seconds, and I had clipped them up. As a matter of fact, I did not have one that equaled 9 seconds. And I edit, I change speed, I do all kinds of crazy stuff with them to make them transformative.
Right. Right.
And we are allowed to use that stuff, but it's absolutely risky. Honestly, I do it for artistic reasons, and the algorithm does like it when you cut videos. They like cut videos with motion and things moving. It favors it. But honestly, I'm probably going to use less because it's better to get the message out. That's the thing, is a lot of, we both kind of struggle with this, but I think we agree on this situation. Like with Patreon, I was pissed when Sargon got taken off, and I'm pissed that Jones got taken off this platform, and McGinnis is now missing from this platform. But the thing is, I can leave with and that's great, and I'll feel real good about myself, right? But the thing is, nobody will be hearing my message anymore. So
yeah,
I mean,
that's the problem.
Yep.
That's the problem. I mean, it's the same thing with, people were, it's one of the shots that I've gotten in the past. It's like, well, so you saw Rise of Skywalker, huh? I thought you were calling for a boycott on Disney. It's like, well, I didn't pay for it. And, there's that. But also, if I don't put out word of how awful this is, then they win. I mean, you have to cry out when there's injustice, when there is something awful. You've got to speak up if you want anything to change. So, if you're a reviewer, obviously, I'm not saying that you should stay away from these things. You need to review them. You need to get the word out
Yeah.
to your people. I mean, that it's just such a kind of a gotcha, silly ass
It is. Listen,
thing. It doesn't mean anything.
you and I both I do not talk about stuff I am not familiar with. Right. So you don't see me doing, and listen, this is no knock on the guys who did this. I would do the same fucking thing, but I don't know anything about The Last of Us 2. I'm never going to play that game. It looked terrible to me. The first one, I don't like post-apocalyptic crap that's, just zombies. It's boring to me. But if you like it and the story, that's great. The videos I made were about canceling people. They weren't about the game at all. And the other one was about Father's Day, and I got some interesting news on that. But I'm not going to make videos about stuff I don't know. And if we're going to talk about pop culture, we have to watch it. Okay. And what Doomcock just said, even if he did pay for it, even if he did pay the $15 to $20, he did more damage than that $15 or $20 brought in. We need to know what we're talking about. It's part of our job here. Yes, our job. It's fun. It doesn't feel like work, except for when fucking BBC strikes you down. But it's part of the gig, and we get to write it off anyway. So it's not like we're really paying for anything. You have to know what the fuck you're talking about. Neither of us are going to be these channels. And again, not judging. You can commentate on pop culture all you want. If you have the knowledge of it anyway, that's great. My personal rule, and it might be dumb. I need to have watched it, played it, read it, I have to have a working knowledge of it, or I'm not going to talk about it. I just think,
right.
I personally feel a little fraudulent, or would.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I haven't said anything really about Last of Us 2. I mean, I know it's a hot topic, but I haven't beyond, sending some things out on Twitter, just saying fuck Naughty Dog, because I do know that.
Yeah.
I do know that. I do feel that intensely. I've seen the damage that these scumbags have done. And, and in theory, from what I understand of it, the game is atrocious. But even beyond that, I don't care if it was the best damn game ever made. When you are attacking free speech and trying to shut down critics, fuck you. I will never, ever spend anything on a Naughty Dog again, ever. I don't care what they do. They come out with a virtual reality, step into the world of Star Trek in 1966 and be on the bridge and in virtual reality. You're right there. Fuck them. I mean, that I'd probably pirate, but I sure as hell wouldn't buy it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're going to see what we're going to see. I'm not going to recommend anything that's, with HBO Max. It sucks. Sorry, Snyder Cut, but I'm not signing back up for HBO Max. Not after the South Park thing, and they support modern Doctor Who. On that front again, Doctor Who was let go by Netflix. It was let go by Amazon, and now it's on a streaming service that's not even on Roku yet, right? There's some televisions you can't see it on. I'm sure that's going to change, but yeah, that's a giant step back. It's a huge.
It is.
Step back.
I can't. I couldn't see it. And no Roku. Yeah. I mean, you can watch it on your computer, or your phone. But who the hell wants to do that?
Yeah, watching on the phone is brutal.
No.
Josh Crush for $4.99 says all serial killers must be played by actual serial killers.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't get that serious commitment to serial killing unless you've done it. So, yeah, same thing with quadriplegic. You can't play a quadriplegic anymore unless you are a quadriplegic. And really, I find it very speciesist that a human being should play a robot. I just think that that's offensive to Robo Americans. And we need to cut that shit out immediately. Voicing animals in cartoons is deeply offensive to the rabbit community. It's not very Fox forward, and I find it reprehensible.
I could not agree more. Absolutely. Everybody needs to put down the liquor every time I'm in the room, by the way, because I'm a recovering alcoholic, and you could offend me with your liquor. So
That's right.
we need to bring back prohibition just for me. By the way, this is just for me, because honestly, you're threatening my life, and my inadequacies are your problem now. Are your problem. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
In the same way that, we really should never talk about things like music because of the, hearing impaired. Should never talk about walking down to the store for those who are unable to walk.
Yep.
Have some sensitivity, scumbags.
Right. Oh my God. Crazy Cat Guy for $1.49 gives me an ice cream cone. I could use some ice cream right now. It's
Ice cream's
day.
good.
Ice cream's good. John McCurdy for $5. Just a little appreciation for all you do. With politics and media becoming more divided, you've maintained a common sense attitude. Thank you. And Doomcock and I both try. We want to appeal to everyone. The thing is, there is a divide, and right now there are a group of people. I don't know if there's any chance at unity right now. You can't have unity with stupidity and insanity. It's just a little difficult, and it's running roughshod over common sense right now. And we've got each other right now. I know we are the silent majority. There's a point where we can't be anymore. There's still an argument to be made that this stuff will burn itself out. It will eat its stuff up. And right now we have a lot of stupidity on display, and it's hurting it. It most definitely is. I don't think the chode, as I call it in Seattle, accomplished anything other than exposing a system and a lot of people for what we always thought they were. Quarter Black Garrett just got back from there, and he told a couple of stories, and there's segregation. They're being propped up financially, so they're not self-sufficient at all. I don't think this comes as a surprise to anybody. So yeah, they're just being propped up. It's a block party. They're trying to equate it to the Summer of Love, and the Summer of Love didn't they didn't take over. They kind of did the same thing. There was just no internet. But they were there's more drugs involved in the Summer of Love, believe it or not. But apparently there's a lot of drugs in the chode. It's a free for all.
You know what it's like, dude? Did you ever watch The Wire?
Yeah.
It's like New Amsterdam.
Yep.
New Amsterdam. That's what it is. Where it was a little area where anything went. Remember that little experiment? Wasn't it in The Wire, or was it in Oz? I think it was in The Wire. New Amsterdam, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in The Wire.
Because I didn't watch that much of Oz.
Oz was
there was a place like that in San Diego for years and years and years. We called it Bartertown. It was Ocean Beach, California. It was right near Ocean Beach and Imperial Beach are the southwesterly most cities in the United States, not counting Texas, of course, but they're in the little corner of California, south of San Diego, a stone's throw from Tijuana. And there's a couple of nice beaches there. And when I say Bartertown, no, it looked like Mad Max Bartertown. There was a bunch of leather, bikes, tattoos, people with crazy head, and you could go and that's where everything I used to lift, that's where I go and sell it for dope, Bartertown. It was nuts, and no cops went there ever. They wouldn't dare. So
boy, it's like Bartertown belongs to Master Blaster.
Yep.
You're never going to roll into Bartertown unless you got something to barter.
And we had a Master Blaster. He was straight, but we had a version of Master Blaster. Nobody messed with that guy. He was big and scary, and
Did he wear a cool hockey mask, kind of metal hockey mask type thing?
He had a big old beard, big chopper, and freaking 30-inch arms or whatever. Could rip your head off your body. Wasn't the fastest guy in the world, but I wasn't willing to risk it. I never crossed the guy, so I'm not stupid.
Well, no, you wouldn't want to do that.
I was a youngster back then. Rod Thunderheart for 3 Canadian pesos gives us a fist bump. Doomcock, right on.
Oh, hail, Rod Thunderheart.
Right back at you, buddy.
Thank you, brother, for introducing me to Murdoch Mysteries, and you are awesome.
Fan addicts of film. Oh, dude, Jimi Hendrix just will not stay up. Damn it.
Well, he's dead.
I got what
do you want from him?
Jimmy, I know, right? I'm asking too much. I got Amigo, Jimi Hendrix. I just need to put him on a stand. He took out the mouth of Sauron and a Nazgul. This Jimi Hendrix.
Well,
is
hell
powerful.
yeah. But stand up next to a mountain, chop it down with the edge of my hand.
And Batman. And Frank Miller. And a Frank Miller sideshow Batman. Took them all out.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it all fell over today.
Don't fuck with him.
Do not fuck with Jimi Hendrix, man.
No.
Fan Addicts of Film says, hail, my friends, for $5. And then he says, watching Dark Season 3, it's more confusing and still brilliant as hell. Yeah, I haven't started it yet. I'm going to start it tonight.
Oh, I didn't know it had landed.
Friday. It landed Friday.
Nice. Well, I will check it out. Yeah.
Maybe we'll talk about it next. If well, let me know how far you are next Sunday, and we can talk about it. That'd be great.
Oh yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, definitely.
Most definitely. And Karis for $5 Australian. Hail Gary, hail Doomcock, hail chat. G'day.
Hail.
Thank you. Cloud 1592 for $4.99. Do you guys think The Boys season 2 is going to be woke?
I don't know. Maybe. It's I mean they've gender swapped the one character.
Stormfront.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
I didn't think the trailer was bad. I hate the gender swap Stormfront unless they lean into her, which I know they won't, but they make her, ladies, forgive me, an annoying bitch. If they make her if they lean into her being kind of an uber SJW feminist and mock it, I would be okay with that. I think that would be ballsy. That would be a ballsy creative move.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to do that. I think they gender swap that character because that character can take on Homelander and I think she'll beat Homelander, and it'll be just another case of, you're making the white guy the villain anyway, and then you're gonna cuck the villain because of feminism. We've already seen this happen so much where it's like, no, he's already a villain, but you want your cake and you want your feminist cake and eat it too, or pie, should I say. And you want to have powerful women with agency that are even, and you want them to be better bad guys too. But all the intersectional feminist bad guys that we've seen, it's always a man's fault. Their one fatal flaw was trusting a man, or they got screwed over by a man, or something. It's you can only there's only 5 woke stories out there. Okay, that's it.
Yeah,
that's why it's so easy to predict Star Trek Discovery and Doctor Who, because there's 5 fucking woke stories. So it's going to be Swedish bikers on meth, Nazis, an abusive father, or an absentee father. That's pretty much it, and they're all white. By the way, they're all white, but they'll be Doctor Who did make a black man bad, and they will be coming for that too. It's going to be all men. I do want to report something as it relates to The Last of Us Part 2. According to a source, which I can't name now, but I might be able to name someday. By the way, someday I'm going to be able to name my source for Doctor Who. So,
wow.
Yeah, someday. So, according to this source, The Last of Us Part 2 used the beer bug as an excuse. They were always going to delay the release date. It was always going to be that day because they wanted it as close to Father's Day as possible. The killing of the father figure Joe, and it's very much in line with Game of Thrones and Westworld, which did the same things. Westworld had the Man in Black kill his daughter on Father's Day. Game of Thrones had Tyrion Lannister kill Tywin on Father's Day. Now, do you think they do this on purpose to be cute, or do you think there's something a little more to it?
It seems a little bit consistent to be a coincidence.
Yep.
It seems a little bit too applied a meme to be random.
I'm going to read something to you, Doomcock. It's going to be disturbing, but it won't be surprising. You know what I mean? Like, you're hearing it out loud. You're going to go, yeah, of course, but fuck. Okay. So, this comes from it's unnamed right now, but my future producer. Okay. I am hiring a producer. We are in talks. Things should be worked out by the week, and you'll find out who this person is. This is from an anonymous person who works. I can't even say where they work right now, but we'll just say a media entity. We'll leave it at that. So this person is leaving this media entity. This person was hired due to tokenism, and they didn't appreciate it. This person is not white and part of the alphabet community, but they actually wanted to, like, I don't know, be treated with respect, do their job, and apparently that wasn't the case. And the media entities are falling apart, by the way. On the 4th of July, and listen, this is just a source. This might not happen. I don't know. But we need to look out for a new narrative. Now, remember when the Warren Ellis thing came down, I said the new narrative in comics would be cancel men. Men are the reason comic books are dying. And that's happening right now. Well, America, on the 4th of July, look forward to something similar to the Truly Scandinavian video. Do you remember that? What's Truly Scandinavian? And it was a video about Scandinavia showing it had actually no culture. It stole everything from everybody. It was all appropriated. We will be getting our own version of that on the 4th of July.
Really?
Yep. Oh, yeah. And it's coordinated. So the media entities coordinate. There will be no more news on this as I get more information. And if anybody out there has information about news organizations, access media organizations, coordinating narratives, please pass it my way. Or Doomcock. We both have contact
Yes, please.
information.
I'd love to hear it as well. Yeah. Yeah.
I like, honestly, I get it to everybody. So we can
Yes.
all talk about this because I said this on my 250K live stream. I used it as a recruiting drive. Right now, we need more voices. We need more people. We need more. Of course, I would love to have more people subbing, but really, we just need more people under the hashtag The Phantom Menace, or just under common sense. We need more people. So if you think you got the gift of gab, get on this network and share your thoughts, share your opinion. We need you. And thank you to everyone who's in the chat and who supported Doomcock and I over the years, and with a sub, with your time, with the super chat. Thank you all. We obviously are nothing without you, and it's going to be more important. Listen, I can't make this more serious. I'm not, I don't mean to get this serious, but this is an important time. We really need you more than ever. We need to be here together more than ever. And it's going to be 2016 all over again. Everything's just been dialed back to 2016. Just hope you're ready for the fight, because that's what this is going to be.
It already is. And, we're both fighting it.
Yep.
We're both fighting it. But they're losing. They're losing. They are. And, they may be trying to organize one last hurrah, one little last gesture of defiance. But look, the marketplace is going to rule. And I think that changes are on their way. They really are. We are. Every time something like this comes out, just bear in mind, they are losing. They are on the wrong side of history. It is coming. These reports that I have been tipped about. They may be going to trash the sequel trilogy, at least in terms of making it a Star Wars legend thing, an Elseworlds kind of story. That they wouldn't be doing that unless things were bad, unless things needed to change. I mean, it's a tacit admission that there are problems, and I'm optimistic.
I was prior to the events of the last 3 to 4 weeks, and even if I'm not, doesn't mean we give up. But we do need to face some harsh realities right now. Whatever. Believe me, there's things that like I said with the Doctor Who, Timeless Children. If things had forged ahead without the beer bug, and especially what had happened over the last 4 weeks, there was a possibility that might have changed someday. It ain't now. It just flat out, it's not. It's going to remain that way, and they wouldn't dream of changing it because they would get blowback from 3 people. And they've been ignoring our blowback. They have no problem ignoring us because of the narrative that's been pinned on us, right? See, if they appease us in any way, shape, or form, and listen, that's the danger with Disney. If Disney undoes the Disney trilogy, believe me, they're going to hear the same shit that they heard with The Rise of Skywalker. And what did they say? You're trying to satisfy the fandom menace, which wasn't even the case, by the way. We hated the fucking Rise of Skywalker and the fact that they brought back Palpatine, but that's the narrative that's going to be put on Disney if they do that. That they're trying to please the alt-rights, the Yahtzees, the ists and the phobes. You bent the knee to them. That's the kind of shit they're going to have to go through. And you know what? Entertainment's going to have to, sack up and deal with it.
They're just going to have to eat it. I mean, the simple fact of the matter is, look at the desperate straits that Disney's in. I mean, you talked about it earlier. I mean, they made tens of millions with a debt load of what, billions? Something like that.
I think they're directionless right now because they're still releasing books that are prequels to the Rise of Skywalker. They just released one where they decanonized Darth Plagueis, and Ryan Cannell. I can never pronounce the name right. Plagueis or Plagueis. Plagueis. He's been decanonized.
Well, yeah, they're basically trying to retcon a lot of that stuff, but there are different factions inside Lucasfilm, inside Disney, and there's a war going on, a civil war in there, but they're on the look. By their results shall ye know them. The profits are not what they wanted, not nearly what they wanted, not what they expected. They didn't buy, Star Wars lock, stock, and barrel for over $4 billion to be making this kind of money. They wanted to double it, triple it, quadruple it. And now in their extreme need with their parks and their recreation stuff, hurting. Oh shit, there is a definite need for a change there, and they know it. So, they may just go ahead, have to nut up, and maybe, maybe Disney ought to just get off Twitter. Stop paying attention to Twitter. How would that be?
They would be the first company I've seen nut up. I haven't seen a single company nut up yet. I might have missed that, but
there are financial incentives, not only incentives at this point, but mandates. I mean, if it's a choice between being woke or surviving, I think they're going to pick survival. If they survive that long. I mean, that's true. They better get on it. There's no movie theaters, and listen, the robot, what Bad Robot did, Bad Reboot, and Disney and Star Wars. I mean, they all made statements recently. So, I mean, we've got that faction out there, and I honestly, they're not going to survive though, because they can make these statements in the short term
then they lose more customers from the common sense side. We're not going to see a major Star Wars movie for 2 years now.
Oh yeah,
Minimum 2 years, probably 3. And it's not going to make $1 billion unless it's fucking a remake of the original trilogy, a Darth Vader movie based on the comic book. I can't think of a single other movie that would make $1 billion at the box office with reduced movie theaters and without China.
right.
It could be a decade before they make $1 billion with the film. A decade.
If ever. I mean, the theaters have to get back up and running. But not only that, people have to get comfortable again going to theaters. So how long is that going to take?
Yeah, that's interesting. We have been semi-opened up here. San Diego's been opened up for a while. By the way, folks, I am completely comfortable. I'd go to a theater and sit right next to somebody with, absolutely. I listen, the flu's around all the time. I know this is worse than the flu, but like we can't live in fear, and this is part of our lives. And if you look at the real scientific data, you'll probably be okay. Live your life. We also need to look at the numbers. If we cower in our homes for too long, what happens to us? It'll be much worse. So go through your process, do what you need to do. But I am not afraid. I would go see Tenet tomorrow in a movie theater full of people without thinking twice about it. And if I got sick, I got sick. If I did, I would stay at home. I'd get over it, get back to work. As far as the boys season being woke, it's a very good chance. I hope not. I think if The Boys was made in 2015, it would probably be one of the best things out there. Did you see that it's being released weekly, Doomcock?
No, very good. Hope. Excellent.
They fucking listened to us.
Yes, they did.
Listen, the only two motherfuckers who have been bitching about this consistently for years has been Doomcock and I. Release your fucking shows weekly. You are giving up on millions of dollars of free fucking advertisement. The Expanse completely fucked up.
Yep.
All their goodwill just went out the window. And not that they did anything bad. They just didn't listen to the fans.
Right. It was a great show, great season, but it just went by in the wink of an eye, and then other shows and movies stole the spotlight, whereas you could have had every single week. Now, with The Boys, we can talk about it every single week, do reviews every single week if we choose.
The Boys,
so I think that's great.
It's going to own the fall. It's going to fucking own the fall. And the reason they made this decision, because they thought about it. They're like, God, this was a huge hit for us. How much bigger of a hit would it have been if we had strung it along, had people talking about it every week? By the way, you can always binge afterwards. It's an unsustainable model. It's fucking stupid. Giving up on people on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook groups, talking about it every fucking week. How do you think Game of Thrones got as big as it was? Because people were talking about it. Now you can organize watch parties for The Boys at bars, and it will get big as long as it's not woke. And The Expanse could have had that. And honestly, that I'm not big in calling people out or debating. I would love to debate the person who made the fucking decision to release The Expanse weekly. Anytime, any place. Tell me how the binge model is better than releasing weekly.
Well, I bet it was a legacy kind of thing. I mean, they've typically done it. It probably just, I don't know that they even thought that carefully about it, but I think we've moved the needle. So that's outstanding. Yes, we have done it. Wonderful. I'm proud of them. I hope that they will continue that. And I hope we do get another season of Expanse sometime before the next millennium. But I tell you what, the new season of Expanse will be out before George R.R. Martin's book.
Oh, it will. Yeah, I guess we should talk about that for a second. All right.
Yes, let's talk about that now. Tell me what a prophet I was, because you have been an acolyte. You've been a true believer, going to the well every day, and I have stood on the mountain and I have rent my garments and I have said, Gary, turn back, O man, forswear thy foolish ways. There shalt not be the end of the series. But you said no, Doomcock. I must.
I
But
love
where
it.
are you now?
I love it. There's for the fact that there's nothing fucking new out there, and George R. Martin's writing style is better than most human beings on this planet. But like with this genre, by the way, I've read his other books, and I don't find them even close. There's some that I find it hard to believe it was the same person. But when it comes to A Song of Ice and Fire, he's not as good as Tolkien. He, as much as people like to say, or he likes to think, he is no fucking Tolkien.
Right.
But he is the next best thing. The characterization in these books is fucking brilliant. It's brilliant. But where am I at? The shit ain't finishing, folks. It ain't fucking happening. We will never, ever get a complete Song of Ice and Fire. And Here is the news. By the way, I have a video coming out on this. Writing. I have to confess, after a year of pandemic, quarantine, and social distancing, I am showing signs of cabin fever, half of which is quite literal in my case. Yes, I am in an actual cabin in the mountains. No, I have a fever. By the way, he has been in this cabin for much longer than the beer bug. I had an email the minute he arrived in his cabin. I know where his cabin is. I know what state he's in. I know what mountain he's on. I won't say. Somebody emailed me and said, "Hey, George is here." Because he finished the book Fire and Blood at the same place. So that's where I started getting it, because I'm like, oh, he finished the book there, and this is where he goes to finish his books. But maybe he had some heads up with the pandemic. I don't know. I have no fear. No, I have no fever, he says. Yay. For the present, at least, I am healthy. For an out of shape guy, a 71 at least, and doing all I can to stay that way. If nothing else, this enforced isolation has helped me write. I am spending long hours every day on the winds of winter and making steady progress. I finished a chapter yesterday. I finished one 3 days ago. Another in the previous week. But no, this does not mean the book will be finished tomorrow or published next week. It's going to be a huge book, and I still have a long way to go.
The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. How can you have spent, how long is it now? 9 years?
Over 9 years.
I think he must have a portal to the harem dimension or something. I don't know what could be so beguiling that would stop a man from honoring his contract to his fans, to people who have paid him vast sums of money, but even more have paid him big chunks of their lives, reading his long books, rereading his long books over and over again, thinking about them, debating them, loving them, hoping. It's just sick. It's sad. It's sad. I would be so ashamed if I was him. I wouldn't be able to show my face in public, honestly. Anyway, go ahead.
No, he just bought a railroad, Doomcock. He just bought a railroad. Okay,
you mean like in his basement, or you mean a real?
No, a fucking real railroad. I'll get to that point. We're not gonna read this whole blog. So I obsess over these books. When I get obsessed into something, and that's why it's hard. Okay, when I get obsessed into something, it's maybe, just maybe, I have a little touch of the fucking Asperger's or something. Maybe I don't know. I can't really turn it off sometimes. So when I get obsessed, I get into, like, look at my room. Okay. Mm-hmm. When I get into shit, I get into shit. So I can become, I won't say an expert, but within a year, I could beat people at A Song of Ice and Fire trivia who had been reading the books for 15 years. Like, I get into shit, okay? Mm-hmm, yeah. But I also ignore a lot of other shit. It's not great all the time. So I'm into this fucking book. So let's skip this part. He says, well,
I can't believe the balls on that. He's talking, even in this blog, dude, he's talking about, oh, I couldn't go to Con Zealand.
Yep.
Oh, I really wanted to fuck around and screw around and avoid writing some more, but oh well, I can always revisit Wellington next year when I hope that both COVID-19 and the winds of winter will be done. When I hope the winds of winter will be done in next year. I hope it'll be done next year, guys. But gosh, I've got this gin that takes me to the harem dimension, and I fuck off literally, for eternities. I get tired. Do you know I look like I'm 71, but I'm actually 23.
Yeah.
I've just lived so much. And by the way, I've got a Robbie the Robot. I just fuck you, man. Yeah. But he's still going to host the Hugo Awards, and he's recording stuff for them. Go ahead, Gary. Sorry, I just wanted to jump on that. I couldn't fucking believe that.
You are going to get more pissed like I did, because here's some. Okay, again, I have obsessed over the books. Am I Preston Jacobs? No, I like his channel. I go to his channel a lot, and I enjoy his videos. He's dead fucking wrong about a bunch of stuff, but they're entertaining as hell. Quinn's idea, that guy knows his shit. That's a good channel. I like him and I like his theories. I still plan to go to Hugo Awards. He was supposed to go to Con Zealand, and last year he promised to have script in hand, and we discussed this before. And he said to imprison him if he didn't have the script in hand by Con Zealand, which is July 29th, 2020. That's not going to be the case. Now he gives us details on the book. In between tapings, I returned to Westeros. Of late, I have been visiting with Cersei, Asha, which is Yara, by the way. Asha is Theon's sister. Her name in the book is Asha. Tyrion, Sir Barristan Selmy, who was very much alive in the books. Arya Hota, which is part of the Dorne storyline that the show fucking destroyed. And here comes okay. So the fact that he mentioned Sir Barristan Selmy is bad news, folks. Hang on to that one. I will be dropping back into Braavos next week. I have bad days, which get me down. I have good days, which lift me up. But all in all, I'm pleased with the way things are going, by the way. Now we're going to go all the way to the end. Remember, I'm going back to Braavos next week. He mentioned Sir Barristan Selmy. I will bore you with the details why this is bad news. Mostly it's just me in Westeros, occasionally with side trips to other places in a great book. Now you'll have to excuse me. Arya's calling and she means to kill somebody. So Arya's still in Braavos. Sir Barristan Selmy is still alive. If you, again, have obsessed over the books, the reason there was a Sir Barristan perspective chapter at all was because Daenerys left Meereen. And he needed a character to tell the story of Meereen until Tyrion got there. So he did the Sir Barristan perspective. He's still writing Sir Barristan, which means Daenerys is not in Meereen, which means she's still out at the Dothraki Sea or getting, having a good time with a bunch of Dothraki. Because she left Meereen. You remember in the show when she flew away?
Yeah.
That's where the books have left off. We still don't know where she is. The books left off with Jon Snow lying in the snow and bleeding. The books left off with Arya still being is still blind, or she just got her eyesight back, but we don't know much more than that. Sansa was taken by Littlefinger. She is still in the Vale. Tyrion is just escaped being a slave. And there's a bunch of characters you don't know. By the way, Euron Greyjoy is one of the greatest characters ever written, and they fucked him up in the show. So Barristan Selmy, the fact that he's still writing Barristan and that Arya is still in Braavos tells me he is only halfway through this book. He is only halfway through this book.
Yep. Sounds about right. Sounds logical.
So it ain't 2021. It ain't 2022. If he is locked down for the next year, maybe 2023. And if he gets off lockdown, I don't know if he'll finish this book now. I've always
No.
said that this book will come in. It's been 9 years, but he just whipped out 3 chapters. Okay, by the way, there's 15 chapters that we know of now. Count those 3 chapters that he just mentioned. Okay, there's 12 sample chapters out there now. Some of them were partial, but I'm guessing they're finished. And I'm going to include the Asha fragment. There's a fragment that's he did something for John Oliver. And he had a screen up, and because we're obsessive fans, somebody screen capped it and got a paragraph of a chapter that he was writing. So say the book is long as A Dance with Dragons, which was 73 chapters. You take away 15 from that, you have 58 chapters. It's been 9 years. Well, you divide 58 by 9, that's 6.5. If he had written 6.5 chapters a year, he would be done by now. He has not been able to write 6.5 chapters a year, Doomcock.
Yep. Any way you break it down, it's mathematically insulting. It's insulting to fans. It's insulting to writers everywhere who actually would many of them open a vein to have this kind of opportunity, this kind of following. He just can't be bothered. He just can't be bothered. I think it's sick.
Yeah, it's major self-discipline issues, responsibility. He calls his posse his minions, and yeah, I'm going to be a little hard on the guy. Listen, he's paid his dues. He got famous in his 60s, and that sucks. He mentions here. Okay, I do wish I could go faster, of course. Way back in 1999, when I was deep in the writing of A Storm of Swords, I was averaging 150 pages of manuscript a month. I fear I should never recapture that pace again. Looking back, I'm not sure how he did it then. A fever indeed. I'll tell you exactly how he fucking did it. He was actually interested in the story. He was inspired. He is no longer inspired. This is an obligation to him.
Yeah.
He will still be professional. He will still write a book better than anybody else. And he probably obsesses over getting it right. And I would tell him, dude, just give us 70%. Give us 50%. Nobody gives a shit anymore. They just want an end to the book. I don't know. Call me crazy. I like my stories to end. I'm a fan of endings. Happy endings, most of all.
Yeah.
But endings and satisfying endings, but endings nonetheless. This book is not ending. He has an entire other fucking book to write after this one. He's 71. I want him to live to 1,000, but he's been fucking off, and he's been doing it publicly. That's the thing. And then we're called, why am I blanking on the entitled fans? Listen, I'm not entitled to anything. I understand it was my choice. It was my decision to trust George, and it's my mistake. I own it.
But I mean, talking from a moral perspective, you are entitled. You are entitled. Everybody, look, you would not have spent all that money on all those books and all that time on those books if you knew that there wasn't going to be an ending. I mean, there is a contract. There is a contract. And he has violated that contract. So you are entitled because he built it as a series. You even know how many books there's supposed to be in the fucking story. You know. So that is a contract. He is violating the contract. And he has been perfectly able to deliver on the contract. He just didn't want to because he took the money and he ran.
Yep.
He took the money and he ran. He already got rich. That was his goal, I guess, to get rich and get famous. And when it was done, he lost the fire in the belly to go ahead and do the actual work. It would be like somebody doing a GoFundMe for a comic book and then never delivering the comic book. Yep. It's like, well, I put out pages, but
B. Claymore. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that name out loud? B. Claymore.
You did.
Hawaiian Dick. Yeah. B. Claymore,
yeah.
Hawaiian Dick. But he's hunting.
I've never read Hawaiian Dick.
He's hunting Nazis right now. B. Claymore is much too busy being an anti-fascist and hunting Nazis to fulfill his obligations on Kickstarter, I believe.
Unbelievable.
And make false accusations.
Maybe he hangs out with George.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, like I said before,
I do think fans are entitled. I haven't been reading the books, thank God. But I would be frothing at the mouth.
Well,
I would have been frothing at the mouth 5 years ago. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I've been way too forgiving on the guy, but now he bought a railroad. He's reprinting the earlier books with collectible versions that he signed.
Oh, fuck.
To obviously get himself more money, right? So they're $250 copies of a Dance with Dragon, a Game of Thrones and a Clash of Kings, and I think a Storm of Swords is coming out. They're signed copies. They're beautiful, but they're the same fucking book. And he's asking you to rebuy a book that is not going to finish. That's cruel. It's fucking cruel. And and the fucking huevos on this guy.
Yeah, that is disgusting.
And all these motherfuckers who apologize for it. Listen, he's a great writer, and he's not probably that awesome of a person. I don't know. I like if he feels bad, he says he feels obligated and stuff. I mean, like, dude, you could finish the book. You could finish the book, skip a fucking con, say no to everyone until you finished, honestly, both books.
Skip all the cons, you glory hound piece of filth. I'm sorry. I mean, how dare you? How dare you show your face in public after this? And then you've got the balls to be wanking off on this blog. I'm reminded of Stephen King's collection, If It Bleeds. And I really enjoyed reading that. Instead of reading that, why don't you get your ass to work? Instead of going to the Hugos, instead of going to New Zealand Con, all these fucking things that you've done over and over and over again when you are in debt, sir. You are in debt. You are in grievous debt, karmic debt, to a whole fucking generation of readers. 9 years. How many years has it been since the first book was published? 15? How long has this?
1996. It's been over 20 years. Over 20 years.
Unforgivable. Unforgivable.
Actually, so a Game of Thrones, a Clash of Kings, and a Storm of Swords. The third book is the fucking best book. Those were all written within 5 or 6 years, and they're cohesive. And then he kind of went off. I like the later books, but we've only gotten 2 books since 1999. So, and he wrote A Feast for Crows and A Dance with Dragons at the same time. That's a split book. And he spent 5 to 6 years just re-editing and holding out stories. Again, there are 15 chapters that we know of done. And at this point, dude, he needs to enlist help. Straight up. He needs to enlist help. If it brings down the quality, oh well. I mean, but no, he's already, watch my video tomorrow. It'll send you fucking off. It'll send you off what he said. He tried to equate what he's doing to Tolkien. So he said, well, actually, if you ask Tolkien, he never finished his life work anyway. He would say his life's work was the Silmarillion. Here's the big difference, George. The Silmarillion would be looked at a lot differently if there was an unfinished Lord of the Rings. I think it would be forgotten in obscurity. Nobody would know what the fuck it is. But the reason the people are into the Silmarillion is because J.R.R. Tolkien finished his fucking story. And by the way, if you want to like come out and say, I am going to subvert the tropes of Tolkien, finish your fucking book. Unless that's another trope you're trying to subvert, the ending. Well, you got us there. Subverted.
Fucking. Yeah. Subverting the expectations of a bunch of hopeful readers who will be that much more suspicious of the next author that comes around purporting to do an epic. Thank God James S.A. Corey at least are on their final book now.
They're on their final book, and I'm into the Witcher books. That's kind of my new thing, and I'll I need to pick up some Zelanzi again. I'm gonna start getting back into Zelanzi. I like Roger, and yeah, there's I mean, but it won't be. I mean, I love A Song of Ice and Fire. I fucking love it. It's great. I've reread it more times than I can fucking count. I love the world, but I did over the course of the week accept that I'm not getting the end of the story. And I'm not giving George another fucking penny until I get a dream of spring. Not when's a winter, a dream
Good.
of fucking spring.
Good.
Not even
Good.
gonna fucking
Why bother?
And you know what? Everybody, I know you won't, but everybody else should. But I love George. Do you really want to parse through a story that's not going to finish? Well, we can guess the end. And he brought it up. A lot of great works weren't finished. Edwin Drood or whatever. And it's like, dude, no. This is the fucking fantasy series that you've already took a bunch of money on, and the HBO show, which should have motivated you. Now you're saying, oh, it was bothersome and it was distracting. Why? It was distracting because you don't have any self-discipline. And yeah, you know what? I could fucking say that. I could say this. We're just talking about a fantasy book. No, we're talking about fucking kind of ripping off millions of people.
Yep.
That's what we're talking about. You're ripping off millions of people. That's what he's doing. Does it sound mean? No, it's honest. He said, I'm going to finish this series, and he can't. And honestly, at this point, he should come out and be honest with people and say, I can't finish this. Just be real with people. Don't string them along, because that makes you more of a fraud. And quit saying, I intend to, when I perfectly... Dude, you are not going to finish.
Nope.
And it's time to be fucking real with your fans. And that's fine. I would respect that more than stringing people along, that's what he's going to do, by the way.
Yes, of course.
And you can't say that's not a good, it's not honest.
Probably record a video to play after his death. Like, well, guys, I just couldn't do it. Sorry about that. But I am having a post-mortem publication of my books signed by me while I was still alive. So hope you'll buy them.
Yeah. Listen, at New York Comic Con, I broke my own rule, and I bought a Game of Thrones box set, and it's got it's sigil, Christmas lights and all this cool shit, a cloth map and a book. And you know what? I was fucking mad at myself. I didn't even enjoy it. I'm like, I shouldn't have done this. God damn it. I'm part of the problem. So here's another thing that I'm not going to tell you what to do, but Hollywood has slowed to a crawl thanks to the pandemic. But the House of the Dragon is still flying along wonderfully thanks to Ryan Condell and his writers and the tireless T. McKell. So this show is indeed distracting him. By the way, he's part of it. I'm going to ask you all the question out there. Do you give a shit about a TV show? It's a prequel, by the way, that takes place in a world that ends in Game of Thrones season 8.
Nope. None. Zero. I will never return to Westeros ever.
And you
the
know,
only way I would ever read the books is if I understood that they completely diverged from the garbage that was on the screen. But I would have to get assurances. It would all have to be done. And I would have to get reviews from credible people that say, you know what, this is not the same ending. It's much better. It dodged all the pitfalls that made season 8 so atrocious and invalidated the whole series. I don't get that. Fuck it. I can live without reading the books.
Oh, I guarantee you the ending that we'll never get would have been better. It would have been completely different. But except for the Jon Snow will kill Daenerys. Sorry, spoilers. He will kill Daenerys, but they're not going to fall in love and have boat sex. No, they're just going to fight each other. And you know what? Tyrion will probably have some brilliant speech to Bran at the end, but it'll make sense because, for one, you're not skipping a whole thing with Bran. Bran isn't some mindless vegetable. He's still a kid with a personality. And Tyrion, what sucks is they robbed Tyrion of his best moments. You know, it was easy for Tyrion to outthink the idiots in King's Landing. Tyrion escaped slavery with his brain and his mouth. Okay, not with brute force. He got out of slavery. He survived a world where he's surrounded by everybody's a giant to him. And he survived. He gets taken into slavery. He gets
Right.
freaking kidnapped. He, and he's a pawn in some game with the magisters of Pentos between Westeros who are playing around, and you find out that there's another Targaryen, possibly. And yeah, and he just survives with his wits. This guy who, in a world where when babies come out like him, they throw him down the well. And he survives. And that's the great thing is George gets you interested in characters that aren't your typical fantasy characters. It's not, Gerald. It's a little person. It's a 10-year-old girl. It's a spoiled redhead. It's a really hot looking Dornish woman. It's kind of a dumb bastard that we like. It's a dutiful, horrifying Viking guy named Victorian who you follow around. He's terrible, but we love him. All that gone now. Gone. Just gone.
Yep. But he can find time to work on this prequel.
And fucking wild cards. Fuck wild cards, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Melissa Snodgrass. We love you, but fuck wild cards.
Yeah. Yeah.
That felt good, though. That felt good to talk about that. I felt good. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad.
It is.
Oh my God. Do you know how many hours I listened to the fucking audiobook? When I was driving back and forth I was working I own the comic shop, and because of the fucking recession, I had to take a second job. So I worked at Technicolor, and I still lived in San Francisco, and I rented a room in Los Angeles and Burbank. And every weekend I would drive home, not fly, because I hate flying. So Friday night hits. Oh, it's not Friday night. It's 6 a.m. Saturday morning. That's when I got off. I got in my car, drove 5 hours, and got home, fell asleep for a couple hours, got to spend pretty much a night with my wife and a day with my kid, then back to work. And I did that for 2 years. And I just listened to Game of Thrones the whole fucking time. All gone.
Yep. It's a shame, man.
Fucking George.
Shame.
Yeah, and it's self-discipline. It's responsibility, and he can fucking rationalize the shit out of this. He owes fans an apology and the truth.
And maybe a refund.
Yeah.
Maybe even reparations,
which he is a champion of. By the way, he has every right to be critical of this country, which he is often. I just hope he remembers he lives in a country where people will adore him for fucking them over, for not finishing a story. Just remember that, George, because in any other system, your book wouldn't have sold at all. You would have been in poverty, especially with your work ethic. But
yeah.
And yeah, I don't care. I'm not his buddy.
He has let people down. He has let people down that, we have a fraction of the audience that he does.
Yeah.
And I am always concerned about doing right by the folks that support my videos and support me on live streams and stuff and Patreon. I mean, it matters to me. It's personal to me. And I would hope that anybody would have enough awareness of how much people put their trust and caring into you. He owes people so much, but he acts like he doesn't owe anybody anything.
Yep.
And you know what? If you're just writing a book, like just a book, and you're promising it to have it come out, and you never can finish it. You never finish it. Well, that's okay. I mean, you don't owe fans anything in that regard. But when people have invested heavily in time and money in your vision, and you have promised, you have contracted with them, I will have an ending to this saga. This is something people will never get. Never get it. Never. After 20 fucking years. It's obscene. I could not ever show my face. Never until it was done. Never. I wouldn't go out to cons anymore. Shit, I wouldn't go out to dinner without a pair of Groucho glasses and a big false nose and a floppy hat to hide who the hell I was. I'd be ashamed.
And he complains about it. If you haven't read Lord of the Rings, man, woo, treat yourself. Gotta be awesome to read that for the first time again. It really would. But Doomcock is right. I don't understand how he could go in public and bitch about people asking about wins.
Unbelievable.
I would highly recommend everyone to stop asking him completely. Stop writing articles. Stop giving him attention. Let it fall down the memory hole, because he's going to let you fall down the memory hole. Why not just return the favor? Don't be mean. I'm not saying do not berate the guy or anything. Just don't say anything. Not a word.
Well, I don't know. I'd berate him personally, but I'm not invested in it. I haven't paid a dime for any of the books, so it's not really my fight. But as a writer and as somebody who has a YouTube channel, has people I'm lucky enough that follow my work and stuff, I feel a responsibility as a creative person who has not had the opportunities that George R. R. Martin has. There's a whole world of writers out there who sweat bullets and have tried their best to break into publishing, to have the kind of opportunities that he has. And so on that basis, I am outraged. Not specifically because of the story, but the idea of breaking the hearts of an entire generation of geeks for 20 years, stringing them along and then just not delivering, not because you're incapacitated, but because you had better things to do. It's a gob of spit in the face of all of those writers who will never get the chance to do what he does. It's a black eye for all creatives that do their best to care about their audience, to respect their audience. Again, I think for me it comes down to without respect we reject. And George R. R. Martin has proven that he has no goddamn respect for the fans. And I'm hurting on the behalf of those fans. Not on my own behalf, but all the people like Gary and everybody else out there that got into this thing and have spent a significant portion of their lives following this, waiting about this, speculating on it, dreaming about it. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. You might as well. You're practically a con man. You're practically a con man.
I would say at this point,
fucking Harold Hill, like selling boys bands and then slipping out of town and never delivering. Makes me sick.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think he's a con man at this point, in my opinion. He is conning people with this blog. He conned people last year. Christ, I remember when he wrote his original blog post when everybody was expecting it. Do you know when that was? That was 2014 or 15. Fucking 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
God.
That they were expecting it. And it's what the fuck, dude? And you know what? Yes, say no. You know what? Go to one convention a year. But he's saying yes to absolutely everything. And you're right. He listen to this. Listen to this part of the post. This kind of, I got rid of it, but I'll bring it back. It says it all, because I would never say something like this when I'm writing to people. And I don't know. Maybe he was sheltered a lot. It's good to have good boundaries. I mean, I agree with that. But he's talking about some mice that he found, right? There's some mice or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And it was Timmy and what the fuck, when the fuck did that go? And it's not.
What is he hoping the mice will write his story for him, like elves making shoes at night?
He found some mice or something, and he said here it is right here. So Sid did catch a couple of mice last year, but she made pets of them, and Timmy and Tom were no help whatsoever with wins. Please don't send me long emails about the dangers of mice. We know all that stuff. you know what? Let people send fucking emails. You know, you don't have to say something like that. That's please don't send me this. Please don't. You know what, dude? Don't give out an email address. You know, it's almost impossible. I can't imagine what it's like for him. It's hard for me, but I'm not going to tell people not to do stuff. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I just where this series is concerned, and this is like a mean thing to say, but I have to say, when it comes to a series that you have strung out like 9 years promising this book, you really shouldn't be talking anymore. Essentially, your good word is like a bloated corpse that refuses to sink. It should just sink. You should just allow that to sink away, and shut up and just go away. Honestly, you're never gonna do it. Stop pretending that you are. You know, it's gross at this point.
And as you know, okay, here are those reprinted books, by the way, folks. Oh, you can't see it. I'm going to share it to you. That would probably be very helpful. He writes in this blog every day, and you only have so much writing in you. You only have so much creativity in you, and he's pretty diligent about this book. So that right there, Clash of Kings, it's a reprint of the book. It's a signed edition. It's $100 to $150. Yep. And there's all his Song of Ice and Fire. And you can tell he can't stand it. He wishes it was gone. And just blog post after blog post after blog post. Here's some art for a story you're never going to see finished. Oh, there it is. And okay. Game of Thrones Folio Society unveils epic new edition and exclusive artwork for A Clash of Kings. If I go,
Isn't that special?
It's special. And oh wow, I didn't want to go to stupid sci-fi. Screw that. And there's another version of it down here. Yeah, look. Oh, wild cards. Oh boy,
hey,
wild cards.
Zowie.
And he's writing about the Jets. He writes about the Jets. And the Giants. Now the Giants, wild cards again. And this was the last time he talked about, I'm writing
April 14th, 2020.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And that was the last time he gave us an update. It's disappointing.
And people were speculating, oh, well, he's got it ready to go. I wouldn't be surprised if he's finished both books. You know what? This guy, you're never going to see it. And I'm glad Gary is letting go of that particular bit of hope.
Let it go. Let it go. Yeah. It's not coming out, folks. It's not going to finish. I'm not going to, I have some, obligations I need to fill out with it, but no, I'm going to focus I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm going to focus my efforts on, you know what? I'll go through the Silmarillion, man. I'm going to dig through that. I'm going to get obsessed into that. And I'll do that's where I'll make up for it and read some of the Witcher books. I like the Witcher books, get a little verbose. There's a lot of long running dialogue, but I like it. And Basil the Pumpkin Seagull, Doomcock, for 5 Canadian pesos. By the way, where are we looking at? Okay, good. On time. Hail, if YouTube won't give me a damn super sticker of a seagull for you fine people, then screw it. Basil will be creative. I don't know how you did that, Basil, but that was fucking awesome. We got a $50 super chat from the Orville family. It's not who you write, but how you write them. Jaloja loves Jaloja. The Orville it'd be nice to have the Orville in our lives.
Oh yeah. I know.
It's going to be a while.
I miss it.
Yep. Going to be a while. I watched the deleted scenes for Game of Thrones season 8, Doomcock, and it brought all the anger back like immediately.
Deleted scenes.
Yeah, there's deleted
Where?
scenes. I could
On
show
YouTube?
one on Twitter. Yeah, here I'll show you guys one right now. You want to get pissed off? Let's get pissed off
Yeah.
some more. Fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. First of all, is it just a black screen, or can you see anything?
I isolated some footage of Arya killing the Night King, and
Yeah.
you can't fucking see it. You can't. I had to boost up the brightness, and those assholes, the sheer fucking hubris they had to tell us to turn up our televisions. Kiss my ass.
Your TVs were not properly calibrated for this level
yeah.
of genius, commoners. You peasants need to get better TVs. You need a 6K TV.
We're gonna do this in pieces because it's Warner Brothers. So
Sure.
there you go. Hang on. So they're digging trenches for the big battle that lasted one episode that you couldn't see. Here comes Queen Daenerys. Now remember, Jon Snow bent the knee for her. The Northerners were pissed off about it. But
Right.
But dig this. Dig this. There's the Unsullied. They're showing respect. He straight up spits at the queen. Dude would get beheaded. This is the same Jon Snow that beheaded Jaina Slint for disobeying an order and fucking over his dad. This is the same Jon Snow that killed the half-hand to invade or to infiltrate the wildlings. Look what he does. You're my queen.
My queen.
You're my queen.
My
Fucking
queen.
what the fuck?
I don't want it.
Um,
He kind of smirks at her. I don't know. It's
he
like,
does. It's a smirk right there.
I don't know. Maybe actually a little hint of manhood from him. Maybe he's thinking, well, you really are kind of a bitch.
Well, but
Yeah, he's like, my guys, they like me better. Maybe that's what he's thinking. I don't know. That's bizarre. Absolutely bizarre.
I think identity politics did invade Game of Thrones. I think they cucked his character out. Like,
yeah.
he screamed at a dragon while Arya and the Assassin's Blade came out of nowhere to kill the Night King, and it turned out to be like a video game where you just took out the master and all the other things fell. Never found out where he came from. Never found out what he wanted. He wanted to make spirals out of things. I think if they just let him make little spirals, he would have been fine.
Maybe time traveling. Maybe he had one of those toys in the 60s. It was what was it called? Spirograph.
Yeah.
It's like Light Bright.
What a fucking waste. I mean, look at the costuming is brilliant. Like, the sets are brilliant.
What the hell's all that in the background? It looks like
you know what,
some kind of weird wallpaper.
Because it was a deleted scene. They would that's where you would green screen. That's actual set right there.
But it would have been green then. There's no point in having this shit in the background that you couldn't remove. So what did they substitute those weird graphics for the green screen? I mean,
no. Whatever this is back here on the right, they would cover that up with background of Winterfell with a castle or something like that.
No. But what I'm saying is that it should be green.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not
in
green.
this shot.
It's got a big arrow on it and whatever.
The fact that it's not green must mean that in post that they substituted this weird like wallpapery shit. I mean, it wouldn't be on the set. What would be the point?
They don't need green screen on a lot of stuff anymore. I know that, but that is weird looking in the back.
I mean, look, but dude, if you're gonna put up a background at all, then you wouldn't want it many shades and patterns and shit.
Yeah.
So what in God's name is this footage? I can't understand. Do they put it? Maybe they put that there to prevent memes. Maybe they didn't want people going ahead and inserting their own shit in the green screens.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Maybe. So there's the castle right there. So
right,
that's,
but
okay.
in that one shot, they didn't actually. They put some kind of weird graphic because they didn't want to leave us green screens to play with.
That's you know what? That's probably right.
I think that's what it is.
I think that's right. And it was noticed in one of my patron streams that guy is supposed to be a eunuch, and I don't think he is.
Well, he keeps a foil wrapped zucchini in there as a tribute to Spinal Tap.
Yep, but there you go.
That's what it is.
Turn it up to 11.
He can't get through a metal detector in the airport. Sets it off.
I saw that smirk and I went off.
Oh, that smirk was like so self-sad. I don't know what that was, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're McQueen. Fuck. Oh my God. Basil.
those scenes are awful.
The Basil, thank you for the 5 Canadian pesos. Oh, it gets worse. There's a big, long, extended one where they're in the crypts of Winterfell, and it's just Tyrion being scared and them running, and that's it. Oh, and they showed you what happened to the Karstark girl, which remember this? Okay, remember this little skinny girl and the boy that were so the Karstark girl. They had her leading battle. I think she weighed 70 pounds. And I'm not kidding. She weighed 70 pounds, and they have her like in armor fighting because we got to show girls fighting. It's like, dude, I mean, get a muscly girl, get a big girl,
right?
That can fight. I totally get that, but like this little wafy thing, verisimilitude. 4 hours of info trying to compress about the SJW and company movement and correlation, I can read, of fascism and communism. So much to break down. Thanks for the inspiration. Nettle Nerds for $5, I can read. You know, that's the realization I came to last Friday. It's like, I'm not going to be able to avoid it all the time. I'm not going to talk about it all the time. We're going to try to be as fun as possible. But we need to talk about this shit. Like, we can't avoid it. I mean, there's time where we can avoid it. I certainly, when the economy was good, I tried to avoid it. But this is what we were trying to fight. The divisiveness in Doctor Who, Star Trek, and Star Wars has something to do with all this shit. Because it permeated everything we were doing. And now it's like, I don't know if you heard this. It's in the knitting community. The fucking knitting community.
What?
Yeah, SJW.
There's a knitting community
in the exactly. There's a knitting community, and it's being infiltrated by SJWs.
Why? What possible? What? So they won't knit like Whitman samplers or something? I mean, Bible method. I mean,
they take away our leisure. They take away our leisure, and what we're going to do is they're going to try to wear us out to where we just say, fuck it, take it. We just want to be comfortable again.
Not going to happen.
No, they don't want us comfortable. And by the way, we outnumber them 1,000 to 1, thousands to 1. It's time for us to flex our muscle, and that's everybody. And that's everybody, not white supremacy. That's fucking... and the thing is, they have to lie. They know it's not white supremacy. They know it's Western culture, but they can't come out and say it. They've been calling themselves social democrats for a long time when they're Marxists. Why do they have to lie? Is it because they know that this is totalitarian, that they know this is indeed fascist? I went to that panel with Quarter Black Garrett and John F. Trent at New York Comic Con, Doomcock. I told you about it. Fucking eye-opening. The Antifa panel at Comic-Con, at New York Comic-Con.
God.
And alls it was white man bad the whole time.
Oh my God.
I got it all in tape. Andre Fernandez, thank you for the $50. And let me acknowledge a couple stickers here. Thank you, Silver Phantom X for $4 and the Feral Jester for $4 for the cuppa. I appreciate it. Andre Fernandez for 50 pesos. We'll just say, hail Gary, hail my liege. Have you seen Dark yet? That's a way to stick a landing. Maybe our entertainment shall be made outside the U.S. or Hollywood. Haven't seen the end of it. But yes, Dark is fantastic. It's very, very good.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing the new season. Haven't seen it yet.
Can't
though.
wait. You know, it's awesome not having a bedtime. I know I haven't had a bedtime for most of my life, but it's just nice not having one. I haven't had a bedtime since I was like 9. That was a long time ago, man. That was the 70s. McQueen fan 73 for $14.99. Steve McQueen, hey, I'm right near one of the bullet roads, man. Good evening, gentlemen. Stay the course, and may the fandom menace live long and prosper. It's needed now more than ever, Doomcock.
It is. That's what we're sticking on. We're staying on. We're going to stay the course.
Dixon Cider for $10. Hail Doomcock. Stupid YouTube not showing me you were live. By the way, Gary, do you like steak? Yes. If so, I've got some seasonings to send you. Just like Doomcock. Weird name, fantastic product. Keep it up. Please do. I love steak, and my oldest son prepares it the best. He is quite good at it.
Nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying those spices. Thank you, Dixon Cider. You're awesome, man.
Yeah, let's see if we got ghosted yet. If we didn't, it'd be a fucking miracle. We didn't? All right. This is the first Sunday in a long time. Maybe that's getting better. We have a lot of people watching tonight, so welcome everyone. Thank you, and thank you for the 1,700 likes, and thanks for being here. Honestly, yeah, I feel better. You know what? I was pissed about my video. I was fucking pissed. It hurts your channel when stuff like that happens. And it's been a few days since I put up a video because I've been sidetracked with this moving shit. And you know what? Got to suck it up. It's no big deal. McQueen fan 73, thank you for the $4.99. How much money will the Soy Warriors have to lose before they finally abandon their futile quest? All of it. They're not going to be done until it's destroyed. So there is a time where we need to say we're just going to do our own shit now. Or something. I don't know. We are right now. Doomcock provides entertainment. For Christ's sake, he sings. I don't sing. He sings. We are providing our own entertainment. We are. Unfortunately, we're on platforms we don't own. So I think the goal is to get a community, get a following, and then do what Jeremy's doing. Get a website. I've got a website. I can probably move Patreon over to the website. I mean, but I'm staying here for the long haul.
Yeah.
But I'd like to have a place to go when this isn't here, because I don't know if it will be the whole time. One day at a time. It's not making it to the 60th. No more, says John Ellis Bush for £1.99. You know what? If it makes it to the 60th anniversary Doomcock, which is 2023, I'm of the opinion that would be a send-off if it made it that far.
Put it out of our misery.
Yeah. All right. So I hate playing identity politics, but I'll give you guys a little more info. The next doctor is going to be not be white. I don't think that comes as a surprise to anyone. And I don't care. I expected it to be a black guy. I thought it would be a black guy after Peter Capaldi. And part of the reason was to keep the people who always want the doctor to be female off their back. And it was time, it was certainly time. The reason they brought in Joe Martin was, listen, you play woke games, you win woke prizes. And like I said before, the whole white savior thing, I'm not joking about that. The BBC, all you have to do is look through the lens of identity politics and you'll know how the BBC makes their decisions. It's very predictable, and that's the way things are going to go down. They'll probably, my guess is it'll be sometime, just look at how they did it in the past. It'll be sometime towards the end of Jodies' 13th season will they announce that she's leaving, although the plans will already have been made. She'll probably bow out on a holiday special, and then it's they bring in somebody else. It's probably going to be a bloke at this point, and it's going to be too late. But they're not changing Okay, they're gonna add to it, folks. All those different doctors we saw TAKEDOWN making, they're gonna sprinkle that in between all the numbered doctors so they can water down the doctors. That was the terminology I was told. Water it down. Water down the whiteness. Water down the whiteness. Fucking believe this shit. They can't just like continue the show and add to it. No, it's not enough. It's not enough.
No, it's not. They want to go ahead and make sure that they leave no acre unsalted.
Yep.
They want to just go ahead and just burn it all to the ground. Well, fuck you. You'll lose your audience. Nobody gives a shit. You won't be relevant anymore. Enjoy it. Suck on that.
Yep. You want, and yeah, I said it in my video. I'm like, the entertainment industry is now the influence industry, and they really fucking suck at it. They really suck at it. So they're not going to be influencing anybody. They took a beautiful show, and it had never been more popular than it was here in 2013. Everybody was getting into it, dude. And a show that brought everybody together. And you know who they make Doctor Who now for? The Chode in Seattle. Those are your Doctor Who fans.
Yeah,
they're in
6
Seattle.
blocks. 6 blocks out of Seattle.
Yep.
Well, good. There you go. That's a great demographic right there.
Yep. Long live the fighters, says Oscar Mayer for $5. Yeah, I like Oscar Mayer. I like hot dogs.
Yeah.
Muffet 1 for $5. The people working for Doctor Who care what has happened before they started working for Doctor Who. The people working for Doctor Who care what has happened before they started work for Doctor Who. I don't totally understand that, Muffet 1.
Probably saying that what I've heard is, a lot of people got jobs there because they love the show.
Yes, okay.
And then now they go in there and, their souls get sucked out. It's like that really excellent X-Files episode where there was that office and people would go into the boss's office and come out zombies.
Yes.
Turned out it was like a creepy insect. Remember Mulder was trapped in there. That was a great episode. That's basically the Doctor Who offices. Same thing with Lucasfilm. People are excited to go to Lucasfilm and then have their hearts broken.
No. And thanks for doing. I brain farted, but you're absolutely right, Doomcock. And he was probably referring to, why did this person reach out to me? It's the same reason they reach out to Doomcock. This isn't an attention thing. If sources wanted attention, they would say that they would just go and make their own fucking videos.
Right.
That's what the guys started doing with Game of Thrones. They're like, why am I a source for Reddit when I can go start my own channel? And some of them did that. No, some of these people actually give a fuck. They don't ask for, listen, my source does not ask for anything in return. And none of the sources have. No sources. They don't want to be named. They have asked for zero in return. They want their show to be better. And that's what this person wants. And unfortunately, this person's going to be leaving the job. Failing. And a lot of people are leaving the job. There's people getting let go and there's people quitting because they're disgusted with it. They're like, and the thing is, within the BBC, because this person does not work within the BBC. That good luck getting an ounce of information out of that because they drink the Kool-Aid there, man. They are all lockstep.
Yeah.
And what we have to rely on is former writers of the show and producers of the show and shit. You know who's R.I.P. Doctor Who? The guy who found all the old disposed episodes. And and we're getting more and more people. And listen, what David Tennant said in that interview, he's friends with Jodie Whittaker, so he's not going to give her shit. But I don't think he's entirely happy with the way the show has gone. I don't think Russell T Davies is. I know Peter Davidson is not at all. He came out and said it. He came out and said, we lost a role model for boys. And that's important. Make a new role model for girls. You can't just take a role model away from a boy and go, it's for girls now, and the girls are going to fucking accept it. You know who the vast majority of viewers are for Doctor Who currently, right now? Men in their 50s.
Well, a lot less of them now than there were before TAKEDOWN.
Yep. No, they've lost their female audience. They've
Yes, they
lost
have.
it.
And deservedly so.
Yep.
And they need to just saw it off. I don't give a shit about their stupid show anymore. Just the past episodes, thank you.
Yep. And physical media.
Yes, and your garbage is not real. It's just not real.
No, nah. You're right.
That is not canon. Sorry.
It's a joke. And like, again, when what culture is saying erase the timeless children from canon, you know it sucks. And you know it's uber, not just woke. It is woke to the 1000th degree. Scottish Nerd, thank you for the phallic unicorn. Or the Doomacorn for $1, pound 49. Joseph Allen for $5. Hail Inquisition. I have stopped buying, watching, and listening to 70% of the new entertainment. I'm never going back. My life has been much improved. I don't call for boycotts, but honestly, support a YouTuber, support Doomcock, support the Harvey Zone, support an up and coming channel out there. Lethal Lightning, that's the first name that came to my head. You know, somebody like that. President Abu Nas. Go find a up and coming entertainer. That's what these people are, by the way. They're entertainers. That's what Doomcock is. That's what I am. And conversationalists. And honestly, it's more stimulating to be. It's more interactive, and like I said, that's the first thing I look for in the morning. I don't, I have to make a concerted effort to go to a scripted drama that's new now.
Yeah, well, I'll try things, but a lot of times they're just not worth it. It's just
no, it's not.
There's a dearth of good stuff. I mean, but I am finding things that are older, like things that, like have been a number of seasons that I just didn't watch. Like I'm watching a really good show on Prime right now. It's called Grantchester.
Huh? Never heard of it.
Which it's just it's the kind of thing I never would have watched. It seemed like it seemed like like a silly ass Murder, She Wrote kind of thing. I mean, it's set in like the 50s in England in a little bucolic village, and it's got the guy that was in Wire in the Blood, what's his name, Robeson, and a guy who's a young, good-looking vicar in Grantchester thing, and basically they solved crimes together. And I thought, oh Christ! So it's basically like Angela Lansbury, Murder, She Wrote. No, man, it's really not. It's because the priest, the vicar. I mean, he's got such a well-rounded character. And the guy was, he's kind of got some trauma from the war. He drinks heavily, listens to jazz, and it has women trouble because it's not like he's a Catholic priest. He's he's like a vicar. I mean, he can be involved with women, and then his police car. I mean, he's really good at it. It's just a really fun, good show. Another one is Murdoch Mysteries that's on Acorn right now. It's just a cool like Canadian show. About a scientist cop who's kind of solving mysteries again in more like the 1800s or I don't know. It's around Tesla's time. Tesla's in the first episode. You meet like historical figures and stuff. So I mean, there's a lot of shows like that. I just stumbled over one called Brockmire, which is on a Hulu.
Yeah, I've heard of
it. Was
one.
On IFC. It's got a Hank Azaria doing this sports broadcaster named Brockmire, and he calls baseball games. And in the opening episode of that comedy show, he's having a live national broadcaster, national baseball broadcast, and he's going on. He's drinking heavily in there. He's barricaded himself in the booth, and he's talking about walking in on his wife Lucy. And she is a strap on deep into the anal cavity of the next door neighbor, and he just starts just spouting off, and it ruins his career, and it's hilarious. It's a great show, dude. You don't have to love baseball to love this show. And I mean, I'm just devouring it. So there's a whole wealth of shit out there, but you really need to rely on word of mouth, people like guiding you to it and stuff. And that's kind of another thing that we do, is we point people towards things that we have recently watched that we really, really like. So I'm playing it forward, watch Brockmire. I think you guys will like it. And Grant Chester.
I will check it out. And, I always go for sci-fi or fantasy and stuff, but there's just so little of it. And, most of the sci-fi is cheesy.
I know.
Vagrant Queen got canceled. I know it's Heartbreaker. It was based on a comic book that nobody read. It was one of the lowest selling comic books of all time, but Mags Visaggio, because Mags used to be male and now Mags is female. When Mags was male, he didn't get any work. When he transitioned, he got all the work. Mm-hmm. Your boy Zach has done plenty of videos on it. And listen, I wouldn't say no to the work either, but he wasn't able to obtain it. It's kind of like getting a shout out on YouTube. You can shout out your friends all day long, but it's up to you, the content creator, to keep them there.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Too few good science fiction things out there.
Yes.
Too few good genre things. A lot of them are cheesy. Although I've heard great things about Stargirl. I just haven't had a chance to
really
look at it. Yeah, I mean, people have been writing me, please review Stargirl and stuff. And it's like, God, because I mean, we've been through this with Batwoman and
people said that to me about Teen Titans too, and I'm
like,
Teen Titans sucked, folks. It was a Kiwi Goldsman, and it sucked. The guy playing Robin was good. There was one good episode. The 4th episode was good. Doom Patrol is pretty good. I'll watch Doom Patrol. Swamp Thing was good for the first 3 episodes. Then it went woke as hell. Umbrella Academy season 2 comes out July 31st, but the teaser trailer looked woke as hell. The very pretty Latina girl had shaved side head in a fucking SJW haircut. And I was like, motherfucker.
Oh my God.
Hopefully they won't go woke. I mean, there's definitely there's the alphabet community in there, but it's part of the story. It's a part of the actual source material. And I like the book, and I loved season 1. So we'll see. We got The Boys September 1st, Umbrella Academy July 31st, and at the wait a minute, isn't Doom Patrol coming out like really soon?
But it's going to be on the DC streaming.
No, on it's going to be on fucking HBO Max.
Well, are they going to have the first season over there then?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, but if it's going to go woke, who wants to see? I don't know.
Yeah, hang on.
Yeah, they totally screwed. I couldn't watch Swamp Thing anymore.
Oh shit! Doom Patrol premiered last Thursday.
Shit, didn't even know.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Of course, I don't have the HBO Max.
Yep.
So
I wonder if I can buy the episodes individually somewhere else. Probably
maybe,
not, but we'll see.
Usually Amazon offers that, but I don't know.
Well, I'll review. I mean, I reviewed all season 1. I liked it. A couple episodes good. They were okay, but the melodrama got a little bit too much. But once that was over with, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hail Inquisition. I've stopped buying. Oh, I already read that one. Gary, I caught your Doctor Who video before it got pulled. Great job as always. Thank you. Matt Smith was totally digging in deep. Good on him. He was Steve Yarnell for $4.99. He unsolicited brought up the Christmas special. He's like, you know what I miss? The Christmas special. And he said that unsolicited. Grandpappy Fist says Doctor Who ended in 1989. I disagree. I like a lot of the new stuff. Up until season 8. Doctor Who multiverse, it wouldn't work. Sven Eriksson. Doctor Who is not meant to have alternate universes. It won't work as a rebooted show. It's the continuity that made it special, and Chris Chibnall broke it. Thank you for the 50 Norwegian krona. Culture Casino, thank you for the $1.49 phallic unicorn. Paisley Gemini for $4.99. Hail, Gary and Doomcock. What are your thoughts and opinions on Star Wars despecialized editions?
Love it. Absolutely love it. Love it. Love it. Harmy's despecialized editions are Other than now, they've got the 4K 7.7 project where they basically found an extant print of the original Star Wars and have scanned it, cleaned it up. It is 97% completely exactly what you would have seen in theaters in 1977. I think a few things were too damaged. They had to replace them, but holy shit. But unfortunately, it takes like 80 gigs, and trying to even air it is a challenge. But I'm hoping that someone will take those 80 gigs and distill it down to a nice Blu-ray or something. I think that would be a fabulous thing to do for fans.
You probably already have them. I know. Contact Odin. Odin's got copies of something. I'll just say that. I'll leave it there. Jaeger Bomb for $5. South Park is the only edgy show that remains at this point. Only a matter of time before SJW Marxists come after it. Gatekeep to the better end. Yep. Oh, I'm with Doomcock on that one. There's when it comes to SJWs, we do need to gatekeep. We'll keep a lot of other people are welcome. If you're recovering SJW, that's fine, but none of that crap in here now.
I'm just keeping the gate against the barbarian hordes outside that just want to get in those city walls to vandalize everything. I'm keeping the damn vandals out. That's what I'm doing.
California is trying to delete the great John Wayne. Is nothing sacred in this world. What the fuck, says Eric K for $4.99, right? Cisco Kid for $1.49. Thank you for the phallic unicorn. Scottish Nerd for £2. BBC has always been left, not always been stupid. You are correct. And if I hear one more fucking time how political Doctor Who used to be compared to what it is now, I really do want to slap somebody, but not really. Just metaphorically, because goddamn, I watched those episodes and I never went, wow, that is so progressive Democrat of Tom Baker. To what? To be against genocide? And that's part of that false fucking narrative. It's always been political. Remember when they were against genocide? I'm sorry, which political party is for genocide again? I don't get it. We are at 3 hours, Doomcock. I know you've been a champion tonight. I thank you for putting up with me. I've been fucking crabby. I'm crabby.
Not at all. I tell you what. Let's keep going a little while longer, unless you're ready to get off.
No, I want to go a little longer. Thank you.
Let's do like 20 more minutes.
Yeah,
I can do 20 more minutes.
That should get us through for most of it. And thank you, everyone. And I'm sorry I'm crabby tonight. I'm fucking, damn it. But it was, you know what? It was great hanging with Doomcock tonight. I was looking forward to that. Haven't talked in a few days.
Absolutely. So time has flown by. I've been having a great deal of fun, man.
By the way, Quarter Black Garrett says hello.
Hello.
It was great seeing him. It's a big surprise to see Quarter Black Garrett showing up. I don't get visitors at my house, like, ever. And my house looked fucking terrible, by the way. I was so embarrassed. I'm like, there's a maze of boxes you're going to have to sit around right now.
Wow.
Yeah. No, it's ridiculous.
Well, you got a lot of good stuff.
Yep. I got a big announcement coming. It's personal life stuff, but it's a big announcement coming probably next week. I'll save it for the Inquisition. I got to wait for Mrs. Nerdrotic to say the word. Oh God, yes. Today's the last day of Swag Sunday. So follow me on Instagram, instagram.com/Nerdrotic. You can win the gray baseball cap, snapback baseball, Nerdrotic baseball cap, and we found some Exozone beanies, so you can win a chance. You enter. All you do is follow and go to the post that Mrs. Nerdrotic made and make a comment, and all the instructions are there. Yes, you can buy the stuff if you want to, but please go try to win it first. And you can
Exozone beanie.
Yeah. Oh, so it's Nerdrotic. It says Nerdrotic, but it's got an alien head instead of the circle.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So it's an alien one. We call it Exozone, but it doesn't say Exozone on it. But it's the alien version of Nerdrotic. We were going to make those and do a Contact in the Desert, but No such
Oh
luck.
yeah, shit.
So those are available as well. And what else? Oh, Star Trek Las Vegas. I'm gonna have some stuff up next week about location, where we're gonna go, and Doomcock is more than welcome. I'd love for you to go. December 9th through 13th. I'm going to rent out a hall. We're going to go to the Star Trek convention, and the Fandom Menace is going to take it over. I'm going to even try to rent a hall in the same place the convention is.
Wow.
It's possible. Rooms are fucking dirt cheap right now. Dirt cheap. Yeah. I almost went to Vegas. Dude, you right now at Excalibur, it's like $40 a night.
Wow, really?
Yeah, dude.
God,
plane
I haven't
rides
been to
cheap.
Vegas in a while.
Oh, if you can make it out in December, a bunch of us are going, and we're gonna do like live streams and meet up and go to the Star Trek convention and dick around in Vegas and get into trouble.
I'd be Kurtzman's worst nightmare.
Yes. Be my greatest moment. A break from the stupidity of the current world. Thank you, gentlemen. Irish Wars for $5. Thank you, Irish Wars. I appreciate it. You're helping us. Believe me.
Yes, absolutely.
Garrett Russian Beard for $4.99. Hey, Gary, have you heard new rumors that Kurtzman is gone and the Strange New Worlds will be a different timeline? I have not heard that rumor. Have you heard that rumor?
No, not really. I've heard other things. I mean, Strange New Worlds is just dead. As far as I know, it's not going to happen. So it's not going to be like it sets in a new timeline. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Kurtzman is trying to spin it, because I mean that would be a victory compared to what what I've heard, which is basically the whole thing is just dead in the water, and you know.
I got something to back you up on that one. Okay, I got something to back you up on that one. Okay, so it was a very unusual circumstance. CBS did indeed order it to series without any funding. Zero funding.
Right.
No money. They have no fucking money to pay for the fucking show. They were hoping it was the same fucking bullshit they pulled with Star Trek 4, like you said. But my guy told me, I'm like, I was asking him, because a lot of times he just says, I don't know. He says, I don't know. So I said, did Amazon pick this up? Did Netflix? Is it going to, is it going to fucking HBO Max? What's it doing? And he's like, no, it's not going anywhere. He said, it's not going anywhere. He said
that's what I've heard.
He said they had the budget to shoot that video. He said
no, it's garbage. It's complete crock.
He said it might be on TikTok. If they took the entire if they took Star Trek Picard, Star Trek Discovery, everything that Kurtzman has done and JJ has done, and put it in the Kelvin timeline, good. Put it over there, have fun, get the fuck out of the regular Star Trek universe, and bury it.
Yes.
No, Kurtzman's days are done. They don't have money to dick around with this fool anymore. They're trying to run a contest now, and I loved how people were saying it was for a charity, but they were actually trying to fund the show.
Yeah, no, it's dead in the water. I don't know how they're going to move forward, but it sure ain't going to be with the shit that they've been slinging. It ain't going to happen.
Where's Star Trek Discovery season 3?
Yes. Well, they've announced it, and I know it exists. I know it exists because I've heard horror stories about people reacting to it with pain. I mean, it's so bad, even they know it's bad. That's bad. I predict it'll be the worst ever.
Well, at least we had Pike. I mean, he still sucked at it, but he broke the monotony of the god awfulness that was Star Trek Discovery, and it still was like eating glass and having nails shoved up your ass. Can you imagine it without him, without Anson Mount? It's just going to be Michael Burnham solo show in like a rock quarry in fucking Iceland or something like that.
Right. Right. And in the background of some shots, you'll see film crews shooting a TARDIS. It's going to be
Right?
painful. It's going to be painful.
It's gonna be fucking painful. Okay, so
I mean, and it represents a complete ruination and violation of Roddenberry's vision. It's a repudiation. It's a complete defeat for Starfleet and the Federation. It's going to be awful.
Alex Kurtzman and Chris Chibnall are essentially the same person. They're fucking raging narcissists with no fucking talent. And they're also lick spittles. So they'll do the bidding of their masters at CBS and BBC. And they won't put up any resistance, so they can put their name all over everything. So they can piss on every fucking corner of the franchise. Now, honestly, we're going to erase all this shit from our heads in a few years and call it a dumb memory. But that's those guys in a nutshell. They suck. They fucking suck. No more compromise, says Cisco Kid for $5. Fuck no. Done.
No.
Done. Oh my God. I just thought of I had forgotten about Star Trek Discovery for a little while. You would think they would bring it out with no competition, but people still won't watch it.
No, man, listen, it's got to be so bad. They just know. I think they must know. I haven't got information on this. But believe me, I do have information that they're horrified. They're horrified. And I think they know that once they finally bring it out, that's it, to quote Bill Paxton, game over, man, game over. And they're just.
Did you hear what they're going to do probably with the show? Did you hear what they did with the Twilight Zone? They dropped it all at once.
They dropped it all at once. I know. Just trying to hope to get the pain over with. Get the pain over with. But when they're doing shit like this, Gary, when they drop the Twilight Zone, which is one of the wokest of woke shows that they've got, and they drop it at in the middle of the night without any ballyhoo, all at once. What is that but a tacit admission of failure?
Yep.
What is that but I mean, they're going the opposite of Amazon.
Yep.
Now Amazon is saying, hey, we've got these quality shows. We should drop them 1 week at a time. CBS is saying, Jesus Christ, this is a dumpster fire. Let's just let it burn up quickly and move on. They know it's bad. They know it's bad.
Yep, and I have a feeling Star Trek Discovery is going to get dumped all at once.
I would bet.
I would bet, yeah. Jesse Tift for $5. Hail, Gary and Lord Doomcock. Saw the HBO special with Jody, Matt, and David. I was really disappointed how much they act like nothing is wrong. Yeah, the girl who was conducting the interview didn't know anything about Doctor Who. It was really generic. Matt Smith came off great. David Tennant's always charming. He did say something that was rather. I didn't make the cut of my video. I should have put it in there. Fuck. Maybe I still can. He mentions how his kids aren't interested in Doctor Who anymore. How they kind of passed on, and I was like, yeah, right around when my kids did, when Jody showed up. Yeah, kids don't watch fucking Doctor Who. 50-year-old dudes do. Tyler Harris for $5. People being united is the last thing the Access media wants. It makes them irrelevant. Look at the good people around you, not megacorps or celebs. Yep. And Access media is irrelevant. They're dying right now. They are absolutely dying. They have been they've been writing a bunch of, bait articles for us, and none of us are biting anymore. It's like, I don't care. I just don't care what Screen has to say.
Yeah, I can't be bothered.
Really. Antarctic ice shelves are white. Let's ban them, says Arthur P. for $2. Well, they'll be banned. They'll be banned. Rod Thunderheart for 20 Canadian pesos. Hail, Gary. Hail, Doomcock. Have you heard Critical Drinker's evolution of the Timeless Children? He could not have explained better, comparing Doctor Who with a teddy bear and a fat idiot tears the head off and replaces it with a black dildo. Yes, I saw it, Rod. I saw it when it came out. Yeah. I subscribe to the Critical Drinker. And do check out Doomcock's live streamed with him, and so have I.
Yes,
Go
that's
check
right.
him out,
We
yeah.
both have.
Picard sucks for $1.09, and thank you, Rod. I appreciate it. Picard sucks for $1.99. Gary, did you invite young Ripa yet for Friday? I did publicly. I'm gonna send him a message today. Pretty soon, that stuff will be out of my hands, thankfully, and somebody more organized will be able to handle that. I am bringing somebody on to help out of just pure necessity. It's because there's no way I can move and keep this channel going without help. Stargate 404 for $5. Imagine in John Wick, after Theon kills Wick's dog, you play as Theon and try to make him sympathetic character only for Wick to spare him. T. Louis 2. Yeah, that's The Last of Us 2. It'd be the same thing, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's incompetence. It's narrative. I don't know what they're trying to do. Trying to get under our skin, trying to undermine even gaming tropes and make us feel violated and dirty, having to do something like that. Taking away the agency of gamers by basically forcing them, manipulating them into something so repugnant. I don't know.
You're right. You said it right there. That is the new storytelling. It has devolved into pure abject nihilism. It is just postmodern nihilism, and that is enjoyable. Neil Druckmann has had such a comfortable life that he needs to create stuff to, because we need strife in our lives. We are programmed for it. That's how we evolved, and everything goes through suffering. Okay, so Agent Smith wasn't wrong in The Matrix. A little short of the virus with shoes, but we needed suffering, and we've had a generation of. Listen, the recession in 2008, it sucked, but it was nothing. It was fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're going through a hard time right now, and you'll be surprised how quickly we fucking bounce back if we get some politicians with some fucking sack out there. And people need to invent this stuff. And I've had a fucking rough life when I was young. I lived through, not through zombie attacks and people killing my friends, but I went through the thralls of drug addiction and living on the street. I don't want to revisit shit like that. Who does? Why? Why do you need, I would rather go to Cyberpunk or fucking some fantasy or The Witcher. Get into something that's just completely not real so you can really, I don't know, I don't know what the word is for it right now because I'm too tired, but to where you can immerse yourself into something truly different. That's what fantasy is all about.
Yeah. Escapism, is that what you're trying to say?
Escapism. I forgot what it was because it's been gone so long.
Yeah, right. Jesus, that was the last time we got to just escape, just having fun without any of these pernicious influences, political interjections, asides designed to belittle us and make us feel bad about loving the things we love. They want us to feel bad about loving the things we love.
Right. IK 1906 for $5. Dr. Disrespect. Rumor is that he violated his contract by trying to jump ship to another platform. Ooh. All right. Well, that'll do it. Well, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. That other platform will probably pick him up, or maybe YouTube will be smart and bring him over here.
Who is this?
Dr. Disrespect, the streamer at Twitch. The reason he got let go is he violated his contract. Yeah, he probably put out some feelers and somebody found out. You can't do that if you sign a contract. Yeah, bummer.
Yeah.
But
Jesus.
That's not nefarious. That is him fucking up. That is Dr. Disrespect fucking up. But he'll be fine. He'll be fine. I guess it just depends on whether he was just talking to somebody or an exclusive deal is an exclusive deal. Stargate 404 for $2. Hail, just curious when the members stream and Square Up. No idea right now, Stargate 404. The Square Up is going, I'm working on the Square Up. It's going to take me at least a couple more days because I have to comb through an 8-hour live stream because the super chats disappeared from my channel. Now they reappeared recently, and hopefully they're still there. That will make my life a little easier. As far as the member stream, probably Tuesday morning. But pay attention to the community section. There is a lot going on in my world, though, so I'm trying to get to it as fast as I can. Thank you for the $2, buddy. Grand Peppy Fist for $2. Gary, when is your and Mahler's Buffy talk happening? God. It's going to be probably a couple months. I would say September. I'm sure he'll be up for it. Mahler's awesome. We love Mahler. But, yeah, I would say September because I'd have to sit there and rewatch. I got to rewatch it again so it's nice and fresh in my head because Mahler's like Doomcock. They're all like sharp and my memory fades. So it's just the way it is. It was lots of drugs in the 80s. So, you know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
God, that shit's got to be fresh in my head. Ben Roll for $55. I love hearing you speak the truth. Many can't handle. Wish I wasn't on the East Coast time. This 40-year-old needs some sleep. Ha, youngster. Go to bed. Yeah, you know what Doomcock said about George R. Martin, it took me years to even get close to that, but he's right. He's a fucking con man, and there's no other way around it, and he gets deified by entertainment. He's screwing people over at this point. You're straight up screwing people over, and it's no different than collecting money on an Indiegogo and not delivering at all. And George has probably rationalized it perfectly in his head.
Oh, sure. Well, he's got the nerve to go out here in public and be posting all this crap and all these empty promises. I mean, now he's even saying, hopefully by next year, this time next year, I'll be, I'll be able to go to the con. Oh, and hopefully I'll have the book out too. What did I call it? That is so offensive. That is so disgusting.
It's
and
disgusting.
Only
You
an
said
arrogant mind, convinced that his poop doesn't stink, would dare to post crap like that.
You know what? I'm going to sound kind of soft here, but it's mean. It's fucking mean. He's straight up being cruel at this point. And I don't think he realizes it. George got rich later in his life, but you know what? George is a great writer, and he's been a great writer all his life. And there is a certain arrogance that comes with that. And, some of it's earned, but I think it also detaches you from just common empathy and stuff. And, I think he's socially awkward. He is definitely you know what? You don't write a great fantasy novel without being somewhat socially awkward. You know what made me feel better? I watched that rap battle between George R. Martin and Tolkien on YouTube. It's funny as
right. Yeah.
And that made me feel a little better. It did. No, it sucks. It sucks to know that Jon Snow is probably going to be just dying in the fucking snow forever now.
Mm-hmm.
That's too bad. And listen, I it's Scott from the Sporking News podcast. He does like Wins a Winner little live streams with Jane Theory, and they're great. I love listening to those, and they get all excited, and I get excited. Then I saw that blog post, man, and I got fucking mad. And that was like I got Game of Thrones season 8 mad. And everybody was excited about the blog post. They're all, we're gonna get the book in 2021.
Oh,
no, you're fucking not.
Unbelievable. When I saw it, I mean, I just saw it here for the first time. I just rolled my eyes, listening to you, and it was up on the screen. I just, it's wonderful being the future ruler of Earth and being so right. I don't follow this shit like you do, but it's just, I think I had a perspective, because I was more removed. And it's just like, if we're going on 9 years now and he's this age, that equals never going to get the book.
Yep.
Unless he had them in his pocket right now and ready to dole out, it ain't going to happen. It's never going to happen.
I'll take it one step further, man. I'll go into sheer fucking hubris. If I'm his age and I got rich later in life, first thing I'm doing, gastric bypass surgery or hiring a team of people to curb my appetite and get in better shape. So I live longer. Because I want him to live longer. And he hasn't done that. He has discipline issues, overeating issues. I don't know. He can afford therapy. He can afford all kinds of things. And what Doomcock just said, there are writers, and George has acknowledged this too, that would die to have an ounce of the attention he's gotten. And it's a lack of gratitude, and it's taking the fans for granted, just like the show did.
Yep.
And you know how and just like Dan and Dave, the universe picks your legacy for you. You don't get to choose your legacy, and you will forever. And listen, legacy matters to famous people like this. You will forever be remembered as the guy who didn't finish the book.
Yep.
And had
a whole like generation of readers who may even be so burned by this that it turns them off buying books. They may just have such a bad taste in their mouth of this story that will never be finished, not by an act of God, but by the act of a selfish man who would rather go to conventions and live the good life and work on projects that personally amuse him. I mean, of course, editing wild cards. So what? I mean, other people are writing it. You're just editing it, right?
Yeah, but that takes time. Right?
Well, yeah, but it's a waste of talent.
It's a fucking total. As Mrs. Nerdrotic says, is this the best use of your time? These are words I live by. I'm like, okay, no, it's not the best use of my time. But yeah, and it's not. Melissa Snodgrass can write on her own. She is just fine. She is a professional. She has done some good shit. She don't need his help. He just wants to be part of it because he's looking for excuses to not write Winds of Winter. I know what it's like. I'll equate it to my Picard review. I'll start it and I fucking find something to sidetrack. I'm going to have to, but unlike George, I'm going to lock down and fucking finish the thing in a week because it's been long enough and I'm tired of having it hanging over my head and people want to see it and I want to finish it. But fucking there's a point where you just go, okay, I'm locking myself in a room until this fucker is done. And it's been 9 years. Now, when I got obsessed into Game of Thrones, it was in 2011. I had no idea he was like this.
Right.
It was 6 years for the last book, and people thought that was a long time. It has gotten to and I was completely on his side for 5 years, 6 years. I was like, no problem, man. Cool. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous, disrespectful. And if I was his publisher, I'd fucking sue him. And then fucking to have the balls to make reprints of the book that are expensive and collectible to sell them to people and go out and buy a fucking railroad and brag about it on the blog, which God bless you, man. If you earn your money, that's great. If I bought a railroad right now during these times, I wouldn't tell a fucking soul.
No,
I just out of respect. I mean, just like, there's times, again, this isn't anti-rich. I am absolutely fine with people being rich, but there's a time where you have a thing called tact.
Yes. It's very bad taste to be spending all this money that people have invested in your vision when you have no plans on fulfilling that vision.
And no plans. In the video, I have an article from 2018 where he essentially says, I am unafraid to not finish A Dream of Spring.
Well, that should have been right there. That's it.
Yep.
Well, okay. So you don't give a shit.
You
don't give a shit.
And
without that fire in your belly, it's doomed.
Andre Fernandez for 150 Argentinian dollars. Here in Argentina, the leftists are also advancing over with less market, more daddy government, saying capitalism is the virus. Frightening times in the whole world. COVID is the perfect excuse. Yes, this is coordinated event, buddy. They took advantage of a situation. I'm not saying the beer bug was planned, but as Rahm Emanuel said, you do not let a good disaster or opportunity go to waste. Something like that.
Right. You don't let a good catastrophe go to waste.
Catastrophe.
Yeah.
Problem, reaction, solution. Problem, reaction, solution. No, and I feel for you in Argentina. I heard you guys were turning stuff around down there, and I heard it's a fucking awesome country, and I want to go to South America someday. Someday.
Absolutely. I think I've got to bow out now, my friend.
Yes, sir.
But I had a great time, and thank you for having me on. It's always a pleasure to do the Inquisition with you, sir, and I'm sorry about your trouble with that video, and indeed all your woes there. But things are going to get better.
Yes, they are. Thanks, buddy.
Absolutely.
Please plug your channel.
My channel is Overlord DVD, youtube.com/Overlord DVD. Also, the Harvey Zone. Please subscribe to that. Check out my videos. I've got a ton of Star Wars information coming out. I've got so much. It's going to be multiple videos of stuff. I'm having a lot of stuff from my guys, and so it's a good time to subscribe. And also, I've got a Patreon, patreon.com/Doomcock, and subscribestar.com/Doomcock as well. Thank you guys very much. And Gary, thank you for having me on.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you, sir. Good luck. And I'll talk to you Thursday. Man.
Sounds good. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, brother. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have a good one.
All righty. And I'm going to be here for a few more minutes that I'm going to have to take off. I got 2 huge square ups to do. I'm sorry, folks. So I've got some help coming in. There will be big changes for the channel. With this help coming in, I'm going to be able to produce more videos. So I'm very excited about that. So there is a Game of Thrones video coming out, and fuck it. After this live stream, I'm probably going to release the Doctor Who video, the fixed version of it I just took the clips out and I put, it's not going to be as pretty as the original version was, but I have different pictures of Jodie facial expressions. I think that's a good replacement for it, but you've already heard all the news. But if you would share it as much as possible, because it's going to get fucking killed in the algorithm. But you know what? It'll be a special UK release because it's what is it? 6 in the morning? Wait, 6 in the morning? No, what is it? It's 8 hours difference, right? 8 hours difference, and it's 10:30 here, so it's early in the morning over there, right? So yeah, if I release it in like another hour. Be like waking up, but you have a little tea and Nerdrotic over there in the UK. Wouldn't that be nice? It'd be nice. Reggie the Pet Snake, thank you for the $2. I appreciate it. Star Trekker 58 for $5 Australian dollars. Doomcock, you outed yourself. How dare you quote the racist movie Gone with the Wind? Tomorrow is another day. How dare you? How dare you? We win every time we say no. R. Fletch, you're right. And Az said it, and it's simple as fucking no. I'll tell you right now. I put up a tweet. It's right when the George Floyd stuff started. So who knew it was going to get that serious? I just thought the rioting would just stay in Minneapolis. And then I'm like, this might be like Rodney King, and it might spread across the country. And then it got co-opted into an anti-fascists who are actually fascists, so they're Fantifa. But early on, I was joking around. On the Twitter. So I saw the kid in the Target in Minneapolis who looted fucking Legos, and I just cut out of an Az chat, and I tweeted, "Hey, I'm gonna go loot I'm going to go loot Home Depot for a weed whacker and some, because I was actually going to buy a weed whacker and AstroTurf for my backyard. So I said, I'm going to go loot, I'm going to go protest. I said I was going to go protest at Home Depot to get and liberate a weed whacker and some AstroTurf for George Anderson or Fredrickson or whatever his name is, because I was being sarcastic because nobody really gave a shit about George Floyd. They just wanted to get some Legos at a Target. Well, somebody on Twitter, and I know this might come as a surprise, took exception to that tweet. And you know what that somebody did? That somebody decided to post that tweet all over my wife's Facebook account and call me a racist on every fucking post for her salon. I'm an admin. I got rid of it. I usually don't draw attention to myself for that stuff. I don't draw attention to it. Of course, the asshole was anonymous. So, he's gone. Didn't pop up again. Didn't care. Didn't delete the fucking tweet. Not going to delete the fucking tweet. I don't delete tweets. I don't block people. I don't regret shit I said, and I don't say I'm sorry. I just said fucking no. Some people tried to call me to task, tried to bait me out. Very disappointing. One of those people was is an employee at my old comic shop. Somebody I hired. Can get fucked. Yeah. So they tried to bait me with that. Now that certain things have come to pass, I don't give a shit anymore. So So that's what I've been talking about when they came after me and they went after my wife. These people suck. These people fucking suck. I want to have empathy for them. I really do. Your life is sad and miserable when you need that kind of fix to feel power in your life. You're so powerless in your life that you need to scramble around on a social network and try to bring down somebody's business so you get a power fix that you will probably never have the rest of your life. And the reason you won't have it is because you need it that bad. And you're not willing to do the work to get it. And power ain't that big of a thing, anything. What you're really searching for is meaning. And there's a lot of lost people out there. There's a lot of insecure, lost people out there who have no meaning in their life. And I don't mean that as a judgment. I'm not calling you a loser. It's very sad. It's an epidemic in this country. And we're seeing this shit play out on the streets of Seattle and around here. And, work. You find purpose through work. I was the same way. I never thought I would be able to work a job in my life. I was kicked out of my house when I was 15. I had major drug problems. I lived on the fucking street. I was cooking meth by the time I was 17. I was rough shape. I didn't start 9 to 5 working until after I got in all kinds of trouble. And it was in my early 20s. And I don't know, something clicked. I did some honest work and it was rewarding as hell. And then I had a few bucks and I didn't have to rip anybody off or lie to anybody or anything. It was fucking awesome. And I was free. I've never forgot that. I've always had to work. Because it gives you purpose. It doesn't always have to be a meaningful job, and it won't always be a meaningful job. I worked a lot of meaningless jobs that I fucking loved. I loved being a parts driver. It was great. I got to listen to the talk radio all fucking day. I was outside. The auto shops I delivered to were all pretty cool people. I was driving around in San Diego County, so it was fine. It was great, and I did that for like 4 years. I loved it. Yeah, it's all about gratitude. I loved working. I worked at a warehouse records. I made you don't make shit money there, but it was so fun hanging out with everybody that I wouldn't leave work. Like I'd get off work and I'd hang out for another three hours. Yeah, purpose. You mentioned once about the What Culture video. Any update on that? David Blair, I'm glad you bring that up. I'm actually going to go over that in a live stream if my Doctor Who video does well the second time around. I have a personal goal My videos have to, I like them to do 100,000 views. Not everyone's going to do 100,000 views. I understand that. But honestly, my production has been very low this month because of, I can't say everything right now, but there's been a lot of distractions in IRL, and I know you guys are going through it too, but, I mean, we're getting the hell out of San Francisco. I'm no joke. When I said Cal exit, I fucking meant it. We're on our way. Plans are in motion. I'm not going to be able to leave California right away, but San Francisco, I am out of here in a month or two, maybe sooner. Probably going to go down to San Diego for a little while, where my mom and my father-in-law are, and we're going to gather the entire family and figure out where we're going to move everybody, including my mom, my father-in-law, and everybody. And my mom's going to take a little work, though, because right now she's in a senior home that I pay for. She has a lot of health problems and stuff. I'm not going to bore you with this stuff anymore. But that's why there was not that much production this month. But I'll change that. But algorithm doesn't like it. They don't like excuses. But Gary, in 2016, they failed spectacularly. Andre Fernandez, and they're going to fail spectacularly now. Doomcock's not wrong. They're losing. The sentiment of the customer has not changed. And I've said this before. It's not like if they released Terminator Dark Fate now, it's not like there would be a difference if the theaters were open. It would still flop. If they released The Birds of Prey now, it would still flop. People, you know what? Most people don't like confrontation. And those of us who have something to lose aren't going to go out and burn shit down. There's a lot of people out there who have nothing to lose. And then some of those people are rich kids. And are we going to listen, the cops aren't going to stop them. And you can't blame them right now because they're being demonized. So the cops are kind of backing off. It's pretty obvious that they're backing off and they have lost confidence in the entire country. I don't know. If you don't live in a big city, you won't know what I'm talking about. Things are different. I'm hearing fireworks all night long. You know, people used to have a fear of the cops, so they wouldn't light off an M80 at 3 a.m. Now I'm fucking hearing them every 10 minutes. And I'm not kidding. I'm hearing some right now. They're racing now. They're straight up, like Fast and Furious racing through San Francisco. And you can hear it all fucking night. They're sideshowing right down the street from my house, which is that, spinning in a fucking circle and shit, doing that shit all fucking night long. So it's like we're revisiting the 80s. So if you're not old, the 80s were a crime-ridden era, 70s and 80s. It's like we've taken a step back to that. It's not Hell on Earth. It's not Mad Max. But what I'm afraid is what the answer is going to be. And it's not going to be a woke police, folks. It's going to be they might bring on real fascism. Well, they are real fascism. What can I say? Hey, Gary, have you ever heard the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise? He has powers and abilities some atheists and SJWs would consider unnatural. I was trying to say Plagueis. Plagueis, though. I like that. Plagueis. I've heard of Darth Plagueis the Wise. Answering the call, Nerdrotic. By the way, thank you, Shark Dentress, for $5. Beastly Nerd for $5. Answering the call, Nerdrotic. As a black man, can stay silent no longer. So beware of the power of the fandom menace might. Fandom menaces might. And Beastly Nerd, bless you. We need everybody. Everybody. You know what? The core meaning of the word or the phrase Black Lives Matter, just the statement of we are saying you matter. because for a long time in this country, let's face it, they didn't, and they didn't matter to a lot of people. So to hear that, it's like in marriage counseling. Sorry to equate it like this, but it's like in marriage counseling. It's like being heard. Okay, they want to be heard. You can listen all day long, but we want to know you internalized what we said. I get that. And I didn't get it at first, and I get it now. It sucks that got co-opted by a Marxist movement because it came from a good place. We need everybody in this country. I don't want to live in a place with a bunch of fucking white people. I want to live in a place with a bunch of great individuals. And I don't want to be looking at people through the lens of race and identity politics. I want to know your name. That's it. But right now, Kumbaya unity, I don't think we got time for that shit right now. Thank you, Beastly Nerd. You fucking rock, dude. Matt, for $5 Australian. Hail, Doomcock, and Nerdrotic. Did you guys see the allegations against Cass Anvar? Yeah, and it's heartbreaking, man. It's multiple allegations. I don't know what the evidence is. I love him as an actor. I think he's a great Alex. Hopefully he's not a creeper. And on the other side of that coin, hopefully he's not being falsely accused. Hopefully he's not being accused for like going, hey, sweetie, you look nice today. That nobody should be fired for that. You could certainly say, I would appreciate it if you didn't say that in a nice manner. But right now, if you said that in a work environment, you can get fired. By the way, I was called sweetie by a woman at Pete's today. I thought it was great. It was nice. Met Quarter Black Garrett. She said, here's your coffee, sweetie. I'm like, thanks. Man, some good human interaction. It was fucking awesome. Just a small gesture to show my support. Thank you, Bad Axel, for $2. I appreciate it. Robert B. Howard was a good writer of fantasy. Yeah, I will check it out. Arthur P. I'm going to, you know what? Here's what I got, folks. This is what I'm going to read. This is next. I found on eBay a bunch of Michael Moorcock paperbacks. Now, these letters are way too fucking small for me to read, so you'll see me with my spyglass. And I'll be like an old man, like this, reading it like this. So I got like 30 paperback books of Michael Moorcock. Look at the cover. Look at the shit. That's so great. That'll keep me busy. I can read one of those books in a day. And you know what? So at the meetup in Star Trek Las Vegas meetup, there will be prizes because I have a lot of doubles of shit. So here's one of the prizes. Amazon sent me 2 Nightbreed director's cuts. I only needed one. I only bought one, but they sent me 2. See? So I'll be giving one of these away in Las Vegas. There'll be more prizes too. Trust me. All right, a couple more super chats. I'm going to have to go. We'll make this part of a square up. And man, it's going to be like a 9-hour square up. You know what? I'll make something special about the square up. I'll give you like a video. I'll put like something exclusive in there to make the square up a little more sweeter. I'll sweeten the pot. A couple more super chats, and then I'll play you a couple minutes of the George R.R. Martin video, and then I'll release the Doctor Who video. So please give it a watch, like, share, and subscribe when you see it out there. And again, I will do a super chat square up, but we'll do Doomcock. 2 years ago, you were singing on a live stream. I was drunk, thought it was funny, and said, "Stop singing, a-hole." You read it and blocked me. I want to sincerely apologize. You're my hero. Flex Seal Man for $10. I'll let him know. Doomcock is all about second chances. He's all good. George R.R. farting. What a joke, says Joseph Allen for $2. He is. Thank you, Flex. And Gary, you should check out Brett Weinstein at Evergreen State College protests. I know all about it, my man. I know all about it. Meme in State of Decay 2, a story about dragons, came out after the apocalypse. Undead Lab definitely made a funny, I don't need to finish anymore. Says nothing for 5 New Zealand dollars. Thank you. Unlike George, who won't finish his story, the author of Shannara's novel, Terry Brooks, his final novel comes out this October, over 30 books. Oh, that's a lot. Maybe. I'm very particular when it comes to my fantasy. It's got to be pretty fucking masculine. You know, I would listen. There's a lot of feminism in A Song of Ice and Fire, but it's mixed in with a healthy dose of chopping off heads and sex and all kinds of good shit. Hank Hale is angry at George R. Martin. A request. I will get it next time, Brown Gaijin, for $2. I do a terrible Hank Hill. A Song of Smoke and Mirrors, George R. Martin's next book. Louis the Plank, that's what we'll end with for $2. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We had over, 3,600 people watching. 2,100 likes. We got 3 new members. Super Chat Square Up will be by Wednesday. Stargate 404 Tuesday. We'll say 10 o'clock in the morning. We'll do a member stream. If you're a member at the 2 highest levels, I do 1 to 2 member streams a week. They usually last a couple hours. You can ask me anything. I also have Patreon 2, where I do stuff. And I have a website, which is absolutely free. That's where I back everything up, but that's where you can listen to this as a podcast. I'm on Spotify, I'm on iTunes, I'm on Player FM. And what else? I'm on Instagram, Facebook group, Facebook page, and Nerdrotic Live is where all of my live streams go when they are done. Everybody have a great day. Oh, and we need to watch a little bit of that, just a little starting of it here. Little preview for you all for sticking with me.
Things I do for love. The things I do for love.
Boom, boom, boom.
The things I do for love.
Nerdrotic.com.
Remember not too long ago, there was a time where the only problem in the world was Game of Thrones sucking, the complete disaster that was Season 8? Simpler times. Well, a year has passed since then, and things haven't gotten a whole lot better. Recently, they released some deleted scenes from Season 8 just to remind us all how much it really did suck. But those of us who are book fans, and I do feel for those of you who just watched the show and didn't read the books, you're never going to get any resolution. Well, we always held out the hope that, you know what, we're going to get a better ending from George R. R. Martin. We're going to get a better ending in the source material. But then some of us have started to wake up and realize that's never going to happen. So we got a update from George R. R. Martin on his Nada blog, and I check it every day. So I was very surprised to see one. And there's some good news in it and some real bad news if you're a fan of endings. Call me old-fashioned, but I like my stories to have an ending. I like them to have a satisfying ending, but I'll settle for an ending. So our pal George R. R. Martin has been locked in a cabin for months after working on The Winds of Winter for 9 years. He's got to be done, right? He must be heading towards that finish line, right? Right? That's a little tease. That's a little tease for you. Hope you liked it. Hi, Ty Simmons. Hi. I am going to call it a night now. So everybody have a great evening. Thank you for sticking through the whole Inquisition. And there will be no nooner tomorrow, but I'm going to spend the day doing a super chat square up. So when the Inquisition is on my channel, the nooner gets pushed to Tuesday. So the next time I'll be live is Tuesday morning, about 11 a.m. Look for a video in a few short minutes, and then George R. R. Martin video probably tomorrow, and then another video at the end of the month. I have to at least hit my. I had things to talk about. So remember, not all who wander are lost. May the wings of liberty never lose a feather, and you bow to no one. Thank you, Nerdrotics. Thank you to everyone who super chatted, and I'll see you Tuesday.